School has been keeping you very busy lately. It's been very different to the life you knew for a little while. Not that you had much of one before coming here. But since you've come here, you've seen a lot of new things. You've met plenty of other kids with amazing powers. You've learned how to defend yourself and others. You've been to the mall and to a rave. You've been attacked by real criminals. You became class president with Nelson as your VP. You've seen what the sewers under Terminal City look like, and you've even fought a giant trash monster. What's more, now you feel like a different person. It's a lot to take in. How's Joe feeling about this?
Joe is looking in the mirror, kind of like assessing themselves, kind of in this moment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It would be like a little pocket mirror. They kind of pull out, and they have moments of, is this my face? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they have a weird sense of confidence at the moment. What's not really weird, honestly. I feel like they've earned it.
Mm-hmm. It's coming from like a new place, or like from deep down. You're like, oh, I haven't like felt this confidence before, but you know, it feels warranted.
Yeah, and I honestly feel pretty good about themselves. They're a little bit grumpy, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they feel like they need to do more.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny you mention that. We're gonna fade into the school after classes one evening. You see Joe here, walking down the hall. And, of course, with your new identity, as you mentioned, came an entirely new look to fit. We described this last time, but I'm going to show it for all of our fun viewers. Bam.
Yeah.
Look at this boy.
Look at my boy.
Love this guy. So, it's been a few days since you and your friends went out to perform your public service job, and since you fought that sewer monster and changed as a result of it. Joe, ever since your transformation, you've had a strange level of clarity when it comes to tech. When you look at new devices and machines, almost before you can wonder how some might work, new thoughts come to your mind and explain them for you, as if you already knew. But this sudden mastery has only gotten weirder with time. As the objects around you start to make more sense, and you come to understand the workings of everything around you, you start to wonder about yourself. The mystery as to why you can do what you do, and why you changed like this. Why you can change like this. Suddenly, just like with everything else, new thoughts float into your mind. Oddly enough, though, this new information doesn't actually answer your questions. In fact, it all leaves you even more confused. Images of technology far too advanced for Earth occasionally flash through your mind. Grand vessels and weapons that can do impossible things. Without any explanation of what it all means, you hurry to find the one person you hope can give you some answers about you. It's late in the day after school, and you're hoping he's not busy. Of course, you walk down the hall, and you see our lovely school janitor mopping up the floor.
Hey,
Oh, hey, Joe. How you doing? Are you feeling all right?
I'm fine. It's just that, I'm starting to see things.
You're starting to what?
Listen, I'm seeing things, alright? I'm seeing things, like whenever I look at stuff, I already understand it. And I'm seeing things that can't be from around here. Big ships. Things that are just... I can't completely explain them, but I can at the same time. I don't know how to put it, Dad.
Well, here. I just got done with this haul. Need to get some new mop water. Anyway, come with me into the closet. And he walks you over to the janitor's closet and heads in. Of course, you always know that this is a nice little safe area that you two know you can talk in private. And he closes the door behind him. So, you've been seeing things, like maybe you've been daydreaming about something you saw on TV or something?
No, this isn't a daydream. Think of it like this. I look at, of my friends, and they have something they're wearing on their back, and I think, huh, what is that? And then I know what it is. It's a specific jetpack that was made somewhere not from around here. I can see it so clearly in my mind, the flashes of when it was used, but it was used somewhere else, not here. You know what I mean, Dad?
I can't really say that I do. I didn't even realize there were kids walking around here with jetpacks.
I just mean, like, I understand certain technology that I'm seeing. I've never understood technology like this before. I don't even remember studying anything like this before.
Like you're just seeing things that aren't there but kinda are?
Like, kind of puts his hand over his face. He's like, Dad, my brain is like a computer. I can just search things in my brain and understand things.
Well, that is strange for sure. Well, I can tell you one thing. You've been able to do a lot of things that I didn't originally intend for you to be able to do, which is really good for you. But I can't say that I intended for this either. I'm not quite sure what it is you're experiencing.
What did you intend for then? And he's gonna, like, stand up from where they were sitting.
Well, maybe that was a poor way to word it.
I am going to go to clear my angry condition.
Okay.
Hurt his feelings.
You're gonna hurt his feelings? What are you gonna say to him to hurt his feelings?
Keep saying things like how you helped make me or what you intended, but you won't tell me anything. It's like I was just some blank slate and you put me here and now you won't tell me anything and I can't even get any information from you. I don't trust you.
He's looking you in the eyes, and of course, you're getting rightfully frustrated and confused, and you're taking all of this out. And when you say you feel like you can't trust him, of course, he looks visibly upset. And he kind of sighs, takes off his cap and rubs his head, and he's like, oh boy. Okay. Tell you what. Just, we'll sit down. We'll calm down a little bit, and I'll explain to you as much as I can.
Right. Like, finally, like kind of clenching his hands together, he sits down.
Okay. So, to answer your first question first, when I made you, I said that these things that you're doing, I didn't intend for you to do, but that's because I didn't really intend for you to do anything. I wanted you to be you, to be able to do what you wanted to do, to have this free will that you're experiencing, and it worked. But everything else was a lot more complicated. I haven't really told you much about what went on before everything, so I'll take it back a bit. I was an engineer, of course you know that much, and I was tasked with building weapons with materials that would be brought to me. As far as I know, they just were finding materials and crash sites around the desert, and they wanted to see what they were capable of. So, I deconstructed what was given to me, and it was phenomenal. It wasn't like anything I had ever seen before. Maybe some very dangerous stuff. But I was told that I needed to find some way to weaponize it. But something had happened around that time. I don't know how much I've told you about it, but I had lost some things that were very important to me. And I was struggling with a lot of things. It was lonely. So, I took some of the materials that they were giving me, and I laid out some plans. I scrapped the blueprints that they gave me for certain weapons halfway through, and I started my own personal project. You. I was fueled by grief at the time, but I wanted just to see you, for you to be here with me, to be able to live your own life, and, to be my kid. Well, my employers weren't really happy about this. The materials were company property, and they told me that if I was to keep my job, I had to disassemble you and start over. So we ran. I breached my contract because I technically stole this property of theirs so I could protect you. And, well, the rest is history. Of course, you remember what happened right after that. As for anything else after that, I don't know much about the crash sites they mentioned. I never went there myself. I just know that from how it was described, it seemed like some sort of demolished aircraft.
So, you made me parts that came from an aircraft that fell out of the sky?
Well, I guess I kind of assumed they were from some other country, but I guess if you're seeing things that seem, well, unearthly, that might have to be it. It would also explain some of the things you're capable of. The metal that ship was made out of, it was able to bend and change its shape pretty intuitively. I think that's why you can do a lot of the changes that you're capable of. But at the same time, you have so much intricate machinery in there, it would almost seem impossible for it to just to change and to still function. You've got wires and tubes in there, metal rods that I didn't think was made of the same material. There's a lot about how you were put together and what you're made of that I still don't fully get. I'm lucky that you work, I guess.
So it just kind of like softens his brows. Feel lucky. Thank you for finally telling me the full story, though. I remember you telling me about your daughter passing. Sorry if I ever became more than you expected.
No, Joe, you becoming more than I expected is everything that I wanted. Just, whenever you think about this, the first thing I always want you to remember is I wanted you. I didn't want anything else, and I wouldn't change any of this for the world. We'll get through this together. We'll figure it out, champ. We have to take everything one step at a time. Now,
I feel like this is something we might not be able to do alone, though. I want to figure out where I'm from.
That might be a little hard. Getting information on that it would be difficult. The only people that would likely know more about you and the materials that you're made out of would be... Well, we can't talk to them about this.
No, but I have friends here now. I have friends here. There's a club here. I have people that I can trust.
Well,
You could help me, Dad.
I support you looking for answers and trying to find the truth, but just remember to be careful with how much you tell people.
Tell one person.
Even if we told one person, word could get out, and Joe, I'm gonna try to do everything I can to help you find all these answers, but I don't want to risk losing you. Do you have any more questions?
Oh, not really, but do you think that you can... Actually, out of character real fast, do I know where I'm going to be like, getting people to join my club?
Yeah, we'll handle that soon.
Oh yeah, I just want to ask my dad if he'll come and see me.
Oh, yeah, whenever you get your club set up, for sure. It's been a little while since you put in your application, though, hasn't it?
Yeah. Got
Well,
approved. I just still have to host the group.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you get right on that. I do have a few other areas in the school to clean up. But, feel free to come talk to me later this evening if you're still feeling confused and all.
Alright, I will.
Okay. And he stands up and he steps over and goes to give you a hug.
Accept the hug. Also, you get to rewrite one of my lessons.
Ooh. Let me
'Cause
look at your
we
lessons.
Did the thing.
Let's see. Let's see. What lesson should be rewritten here? I feel like he's definitely still telling you to embody your never tell anyone how you were created lesson, but maybe that one would shift, because he's not saying as much never tell anyone how you were created. It's more like now I feel like this one can shift, but it's gonna be like specific wording rather than a complete shift of idea.
So wait, was it like a a soft yes
What do you mean?
to me? Because he was like, "Can I tell one person?" Was it like a soft yes to that, or was it still a no?
He is basically like, you can pursue answers, but there are some things, and you know what things, we won't say it here, but there are some things you cannot tell people.
Yeah.
So maybe shift never tell anyone how you were created to never tell anyone about them.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And I'll put that in quotes as well.
Yeah, I was just starting to do it.
You really know it. Never tell anyone about your connection to them. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a very specific refinement of that lesson. So you can do with that as you will. But he comes over and gives you the hug, and you process this, and you're like, okay, there are some things I can't tell anyone, but maybe there's still some way that I can find information. So he gives you the hug. You two wave goodbye to each other, and he ends up, leaving the closet and going down the hall to clean another area of the school. And you come out and start wandering down the hallway, deep in thought. So, what's crossing your mind now?
Right now, I feel like what's going on in Joe's mind is just that something that at first is like echoing is the fact that Joe was a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
It's first just a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, though, thinking about just how he can be whatever he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's made with the freedom of choice, and he's made to be himself. And
Mm-hmm.
he's feeling optimistic about the future too, because in his mind as well, he's phrasing and thinking in his mind how he's going to explain this, like his close friends,
Mm-hmm.
or his close friend in this instance, actually, that he has in mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're starting to think about all of this, because it's a lot to take in. And as you're wandering down the hallway, and you're kind of not paying a whole lot of attention, you actually hear the sound of sloshing water coming your way.
Oh.
Huh? Oh! Hey, Joey! Are you okay?
Oh, hey. I'm fine. It's Joe now, Aiden.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, it's fine. What are you up to?
Oh, nothing much. I went to my locker to put some things away and I got a little lost. I still don't really know my way around the school.
Where are you trying to go?
Just back to the dorms, I guess.
I'll walk you.
Thanks. And as you guys start to walk off, you get a notification on your, well, I guess in your head, from the school. Mm-hmm. And it says it's about your club.
What's it say?
When you open it up, you have yet another stress thrown onto you. As the message reads, it tells you that since it's been a few weeks since you applied for your club, and you've yet to officially host it, you're being given a deadline. If you can't start hosting your club by the end of this week, your club will be revoked by the school. With everything that's been going on lately, the attack at the rave, which you had to recover from, and the fight against that sewer beast, which caused you even more confusion, as we've been discussing, you haven't even been able to finish cleaning and decorating the club room, and you still haven't finished printing your flyer design. What are you going to do?
I'm going to gather girls. It's a girl emergency. Aiden, I'm gonna walk you to your dorm, but I have to call some people to help me out with some things.
Why? What's wrong?
Listen, I just got a deadline for my club because I have not been hosting it, even though I should have been. I still have to print flyers, I still have to set up the room, and the deadline's the end of this week, so I definitely just need some help here. I don't know if you want to help. I know last time you were, the wet with the cardboard boxes. I understand, honestly.
And Aiden sort of like instinctively moves to put a hand on your shoulder. And you know now you're waterproofed. Aiden puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, "Hey, it's okay. I don't want your club to, get taken away or anything. I want to help. Whatever I can do."
I need people, and I need snacks for everybody. And then people will want to stay and actually help me.
Well, would you want to pass out flyers at lunch tomorrow? We still never got around to doing that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool. That sounds like a plan. And anything else you need me to do, I'll help out. Yeah, I like being a part of the process.
Thank you, Aiden. Honestly.
Yeah, no problem. I'd do anything for my best buddy.
I need to spread the word. I need to think of something quickly.
Do you think you could print the flyers tonight?
Yeah, I can definitely print the flyers tonight. I'll bring them at lunch tomorrow. I'll probably use my spare period so that I can start setting up the classroom.
Oh!
Kind of like zoning off.
Hey, since we have the week to do it, neither of us eat, we could take a few lunch periods this week and use those to clean up the room as well.
Joe puts his hands on Aiden's shoulders, like ignoring the water, and is like, "Aiden, you're a genius."
Oh, that's the first time I've ever been called that.
All right. I need to print these flyers. Are we like at his dorm?
You guys are like just getting to the front door of the school now as this revelation comes about.
Okay. Think you can make it to your dorm?
Oh, yeah, I know my way from here. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna do the Healy thing. He's like, it's a running start. Love you, thank you.
he waves as you like Healy down the hall, and he's like, love you too. And then he goes to turn around and leave. Did that even like cross your mind that you said that, or did that just come out?
No, okay. It came out.
Okay. Alright, you wheel down the hall, and Aiden's like, oh, okay, and then turns around and leaves the school, and yeah, we'll fade from the end of this, and you end up making your way to, an area in the school where you can quickly get your flyer design printed out. You get one of the teachers to help you out, and yeah, you get all your printers, or your flyers printed, and we'll move along to the next day.
This is my moment.
So over here in the usual spot where we start lunch, we've got you two. So, the next day, you return to the dining hall as usual. Today is the day. After printing them last night, you have your flyers at the ready. Things have been a bit rocky since your identity crisis, but before you felt a bit nervous and confused about what you needed to do to get your club off the ground. But as you are now, you feel more confident. Nothing will stop you from hosting the Universal Friends Group now. First things first, you need to pass out flyers and advertise. Then, over the next day or so, you can work on cleaning up and organizing the club room. By the end of the week, you're sure that you should hit your deadline and be ready to host. So, as you...
Is this where I should do it?
Yes, we're going to pass out flyers, and you're going to interact with whoever you deem necessary to advertise to in the lunchroom. You and Aiden got into line together. Or rather, you didn't even have to get into line. You guys, maybe took a little bit of extra time to get your stuff together, and ended up in the lunchroom kind of as the last lines are making their way. Everyone else has already seated themselves, and you've got flyers in hand. Aiden is going to let you pass out the flyers, but he's kind of following you as your hype man, unless you, tell him to split up and go just kind of word of mouth, spread it to people. But you guys are tackling lunch however you see fit. So how do you want to tackle this situation?
So, man. So I am going to hand good, decent... Oh, I can't interact with this map.
I'm sorry. Oh, can you not interact with your token?
Just my token.
Let me see. Let me fix that for you. Bam.
Thank you. So I'm going to give, like, half the stack to, Aiden.
Now you remember.
Then I'm like.
Now you remember that these are pieces of paper, or did you laminate them?
I guess you're right. I'm gonna be like, Aiden, spread the word, okay?
Oh.
And then
yeah, sure.
I walk over here for a second and I scan the room because I know who I'm looking for, and then I spot her and I walk right up.
Okay. Let me move over here. You spot her and walk over, and all the girls are talking to each other. You see that it's a lot of, like, Triffany and Kathleen talking to each other and filling the table with gossip. And once you come over, you kind of eye Lily for a moment, as you both kind of give each other a nod, and, Triffany just sort of looks over to you and says, "Oh, hello, Joe. You said you were going by, yes?"
Yeah, you're right, Triff. Hold on one second. Kathleen, right?
Hi.
Yeah, you want to be my friend?
Yeah, I'd love to be your friend.
Here. Like, hand them half a stack of flyers. I want everyone in this cafeteria to be our friends.
That sounds amazing!
I know. I just want everyone in this cafeteria to at least get one piece of one of these pieces of paper.
Are these like friendship passes?
Exactly, and then we'll all meet up at the end of the week, and we can be friends all together.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome! And immediately, she poofs and disappears, and you can see her appearing next to various people, just like teleporting around the lunchroom, seemingly at random, just going from one side to the other. appearing at different tables, and she is just very quickly gabbing and looking at the paper and then handing it to people, waving goodbye, and then going to someone else. Meanwhile, you also see Aiden, like, slithering around and just talking to people very calmly about it.
Yep. And it's this moment, like, Joe is starting to take in kind of that, you know what I mean? As he, like, walks back a little bit and is like, second Triff, like, because they were also talking, and is going to come to this table and just be like, all right, guys, move your food. I'm so sorry. You might want to move your food back just a little bit.
Terry and Echo both, like, raise their trays and are like, whoa, what's going on?
Before they can do much, I'm getting up on the table.
Maya listened to you and pulled her food up. Lawrence, like, wasn't really paying attention when you walked over, so you, like, you know, kind of step up and accidentally knock over some of his food onto him.
So sorry. Hey, I'm sorry, Lawrence. It's happening. It's happening, Lawrence. I'm sorry.
Robert picks up his food and is like, oh, what's going on, Joe?
This is center stage. This is definitely where it needs to happen. I'm so sorry. It's not me. It's honestly where you're sitting that is making this a thing. But it's not gonna take long. Don't worry, it won't take long. Like, sit the other half stack of flyers at my feet.
Okay. Yeah, now you're standing on top of the table, and some eyes already start, like, coming over and looking at you, because, like, you've stood on top of the table, and yeah, what's going on here?
So, Joe, first of all, I want to add, puts on a top hat, in a sense of, like, top hat comes out and he places on his head.
Lawrence looks over to Terry and Echo and is like, where was he keeping that?
All right. Cosmetic thing that I want is a microphone.
Okay. Yeah. You also you're like, I gotta get some kind of like audio thing. So yeah, in order to broadcast your voice to the room, this will be a new power. It's like a sound-based power. So okay, roll a how are you feeling going into this?
I wish that, like, nervous was a thing, because they aren't, like, afraid or insecure, you know what I mean? Like, they're, you know what I mean? Because I feel like they'd be like I don't want to put insecure, because they're feeling confident, like, going into this moment. It would just, I'm trying to think, like,
This is a good question.
Yeah.
Gotta find rationale for one of these feelings. Because
I feel like
maybe
afraid would make the most sense.
Yeah, like,
you know?
maybe you're not feeling insecure because you feel confident, but, you know, there's like a minor fear in your mind of, okay,
yeah, because everyone in the cafeteria is staring at me.
It's stage fright. You know this.
Yeah. Does into the mic.
And let me get some new music for us.
We'll see how my song lines up with the music.
Well, what kind of vibe do you want?
It is like, why can't I think? Sorry.
It's like peppy, peaceful.
It's kind of like peppy, but it's. Let me see if I can, because I haven't been able to hear the jukebox. It's like why can't I remember the singer?
For those of you watching, this is not, at least my end of this is not rehearsed. I don't have any music for this, so
it's like Frank Sinatra.
I'll just put on some peppy music and we'll see how well it fits.
Well, I'll do my best. Kind of have a rhythm to it already, so I don't know.
No, that's fine. You don't have to go to the music. I just wanted to give a little bit of a better vibe to the moment. In fact, you know what? Let's get rid of that one. Let's do. I have a fun thing. Instead of a vibe music track, we'll do. So when you say Frank Sinatra,
New York, Frank Sinatra.
God, I wish you had a peaceful character theme I could just put on without having to think much about it.
No, all of mine are big bass bangers.
You said your theme wouldn't really fit this moment, huh?
I've got this. I have to seize my moment. Top hat is on. Microphone comes out. And I want it to have a stand to it.
Okay.
Tipping his hat and looking over the cafeteria, he takes a deep breath. Come one, come all, to a group that understands you. Friends gathering, the universe commands you. Who cares if you're slimy, or if you're from Mars, or if you're just like me and turn into a car. I know you're out there and lonely like me, or maybe you're far from home. Now we might not look quite alike, but I think we could get along. Join the universal friends gathering.
Okay, and roll superior for me.
Fuck you.
You can roll superior or mundane. I'll give you one of those two.
Do I get any situational bonus or penalty?
Yes. Get a +2. You put a lot into that, so get a +2.
Jesus Christ! If I fail this, fuck.
And Robert and Maya both assisted you with the roll by moving out of the way, which gives you +2, which means you got a 7, which is a hit. Oh my god! Yay! Yeah.
Good.
Let's get.
How did I fail that?
You rolled really low.
Really
also,
did.
You know what? Probably, I think it's for the best that I wasn't playing any music, because your voice is the best instrument of all.
Thank you. I rehearsed that for a minute.
But yeah, so, and you know, the +2 can come from the 2 people that moved out of your way. You've got 2 people going around the lunchroom now, literally assisting and getting attention on you. So, you know, it's a partial hit. So that means that there's a good number of people in the lunchroom that look over and they're like, "Oh, dang! Like that was a good little moment, a good little song," and they give you some idle claps. And you know, the other half of the classroom or lunchroom not really paying attention, not really looking your way. But the overall consensus, is positive. It hits with the right people. And you can sort of feel this as you're hearing the claps from around the lunchroom. And it seemed like at first the 2 teachers that are watching the lunchroom got a little antsy when you got on the table, but when they saw you do a musical number and everybody claps and it seems like you're about to get down, they're like,
yeah,
okay, all right, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It'd be a little bit of jazz hands, and then they'd get down and grab the flyers again, looking ready to hand them out to anyone who didn't get one yet.
Maya just scoots back over to sit down, and Robert's walking over holding his food. Hey, that was pretty good.
I appreciate it. Here. And I hand Robert a flyer.
He grabs it and holds it, and he reads over it. And he says, "Oh yeah, that's right, you were making a club. This is something that's really needed around here."
I'm sorry that I slacked on it.
I mean, you don't have to apologize to me or anything. It's your club.
Kind of walks past too to give Maya a flyer at the same time.
Mm-hmm. He sits down and you walk over to Maya and hold it towards her, and she kind of looks at the flyer and looks at you, and she's just like, "That's okay. I was born on Earth, so I kind of, you know, I don't know if your club is really the place for me.
Need people from Earth to tell us how to live around here."
One of her snakes kind of slithers over from her hair and grabs it and moves it over to hang it in front of her face in the air so she can read it. And she just passively says to you, "So, what's the club about?"
It's about people like me, or from other planets, or Joe has like a quick moment like, am I from another planet in his head? And it was like, or people who just aren't used to Earth, being able to make friends and talk to people who are from Earth and learn about how this place works. What you do for fun, how to go shopping, all that kind of stuff.
Maybe I'll come. And she sets the flyer down next to her food. And Robert looks over and says, I'm not really gonna get too much out of the whole learning how to be on Earth thing since I was born and raised here, but if you ever wanted me to come and speak to the club, I have some things that I definitely feel like I can say about racism on Earth.
Yeah, honestly, we're probably gonna do some like light topics to start, and then we're gonna dig into some of the deeper things that we have to deal with.
Okay. Well, if you ever want a speaker on xenophobia, hit me up.
Got it.
He gives you a little
finger guns.
He's been smiling at you the whole time. When you give him the finger guns, he gives you like a little ribbit and then turns back to eat his food.
Okay, so real fast. Snakes on Maya's head. They're separate from her.
No.
You're looking at me?
Oh, you mean they're like separate consciously from her?
Yes.
Yeah, there are a few that are looking at you.
They look cute.
Yeah, they're small.
Just realized, like, I had a realization recently that Joey, you know, they just probably haven't had like a lot of interactions with like animals, you know what I mean? Or like dogs or cats or like, you know what I mean? So I feel like they would totally have a brief moment of just like, these are really cute snakes. Snakes. They're cute.
Oh. Maya seems taken aback by this, and she's like, thanks. People don't usually think the snakes are cute.
I actually didn't really think about it until just now, that I don't really think I've seen a snake this close.
And a few of the snakes like move themselves over towards you, and they look like they might be aggressive until some of them like lightly nuzzle your face.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What are they doing? What is this?
They're nuzzling you. It means that they like you.
Joe's gonna just stand here for a second and like he's having quick moments where he's like, I should be looking around to hand out flyers, but he's like, how do you tell a snake no?
Robert looks over and he's like, I've not seen them do that before. Maya kind of continues eating her food, and she says, that's because they don't do this.
Well, I don't know how to leave this situation. I don't want...
Maya just clicks her tongue, and the snakes come back to her.
Thank you. What do they eat? Do they eat anything? Do they eat food? Do the snakes eat food separately from you?
That's a question I don't like to answer.
I mean, I guess I was just wondering if I could give them treats or something. You know, that you give dogs treats, and those snakes, I don't know.
She just keeps eating.
Yeah, slides down the table, sorry.
And as you slide this way, you can see that Lawrence is still, like, cleaning himself up from the food that was, like, accidentally dumped onto his chest.
Lawrence!
Huh?
Oh my god!
Hey!
Yeah. I am so sorry about that, man. I am...
It's whatever, I guess. So, you look different. What's the deal with that?
Oh yeah. Transformed. New form, yeah. By Joe. Joe now.
Oh, like a nickname or?
Just the name for now, for sure.
Oh.
Not like a nickname. Not really feeling Joey anymore. Feeling the Joe vibe.
Oh. Huh. He kind of looks at you up and down, and he's like, huh. Okay, Joe.
Need help cleaning that up? You know? Clean slate, maybe?
I think I'll be fine, but, thanks, or whatever. And he goes to stand up and kind of, you know, it seems like he's getting up to go get a couple paper towels.
At first in my head, I was like, I wonder if I could just turn my hand into like a vacuum and just be like, well. I was like looking around the cafeteria like, this is a success.
Yeah, do you want to go around and talk to anyone that you notably want to make sure know about the club?
Yeah, I feel like, definitely... They need to, like, zoom in on some characters here, too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. We also zoom out for the audience. Look at this. Bam. Look at this huge lunchroom full of people. There's plenty of people in here.
So, obviously, main table, like, over here, everyone is invited to the club. You know, like, Echo already knows. Like, you know, I don't have to, like...
You've talked with basically everyone over here about it. You've mentioned it in front of Kenzie. You know, Robert has mentioned, like, you know, I probably wouldn't get anything much out of the day today because I'm basically an Earthling, but again, has some topics he could definitely talk about because he can still relate. Maya said she might come. Echo has shown interest. And Lawrence, you haven't really talked with him specifically too much about it. You're maybe even questioning if he, like, really knows about it, but you're like, you know, I don't know if I need to talk with him about it or not.
Well, I sang the whole song, so...
Well, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I had a whole musical number, Lawrence.
If he doesn't know by now. I feel like, actually, this table that Aiden is at is the table I kind of want to go to, like, spread word.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's zoom back
man,
in.
I just sneezed so hard.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, you walk across the lunchroom, and you make your way over here, and you see that Aiden is talking to these people. And the two that you're actually right next to right now seem to be very open and friendly, and, you know, talking with Aiden and receptive to you when you come over. The girl at the bottom just is kind of, like, you know, messing with her phone and minding her own business, and the boy at the far end of the table was just kind of eating his food quietly and then stares at you as you come over.
Hey, how you guys doing?
You come over behind this girl, and she looks up from her phone and looks at you, and she's like, pretty good. She keeps texting, and the boy just is kind of, like, looking at you quietly when you ask how he's doing. He just says, I'm doing well.
So, did you see the song? I got some flyers here if you guys want to join the club.
No thanks, but you do have a good singing voice, I guess.
What? Thanks. I like your hair. You know, I had pink hair, actually, not just a second ago.
She kind of looks up from her phone for a second and looks over to you. She's like, really?
Yeah.
And she looks back at her phone and keeps texting. And the boy is still just kind of, like, looking you over with a blank stare. It almost feels like a blank stare anyways.
You guys both from here, Earth?
The girl says, yeah, I'm from Earth. Let me actually show you these guys. First up is the girl you're talking to here. Morgan De Leon.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's, you know, mostly minding her own business and seems, like, passively disinterested, but, like, you know, isn't being blunt about, like, you know, not wanting to really talk. And then the boy that you're next to here, Zyler Kalen.
Hmm. Star Walker.
So she kind of snorts a little bit, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm from Earth." And Xyler looks to you and just says, "I'm not of this world. No."
Oh, so how many years or months have you been on planet?
He kind of thinks about that for a second, and he says, "It's been some time since I was brought to Earth. I suppose that I've lived about half of my life here."
Oh. What was that adjustment like for you? Are you still adjusting?
I do feel like I will be adjusting for some time, but the people that brought me here and the people that watch me have taken good care of me. They have made the process easier than it should have been.
Hey, I can relate to that. I can relate to that heavily. I mean, I'm in the same kind of situation. You know, I haven't been here alive on this planet for all too long at all, but like takes a flyer and puts it in front of him. I think you would like my club, though. It's all about people, you know, from other planets, struggles that we face here on Earth, you know, things we had to learn, things we might want to share with each other so it's easier for others to learn.
He takes the flyer and looks at it as you're talking about it to him, and he says, "This does sound like something that would interest me. However, I'm going to have to decline.
Oh, how come?
I have a lot of work to do. I am usually quite busy with my rounds."
Rounds. Right. Well, if you ever want to come and just maybe be a guest speaker, for one day of the club, like that would be cool. You seem like you have a lot of wisdom to share, very mysterious.
It is unlikely that I will have much time, but if I do, I will share some with your club.
Thank you. He like does like a formal bow.
The girl next to you gives you a side eye and kind of rolls her eyes a little bit to herself as she's like messing with her phone still.
As I'm like walking away from that, I'm like, what the hell is that guy's deal? He's on some serious shit.
You walk back over here, and Gloria chuckles because she was kind of watching the conversation. Gloria being the girl wearing stars up here, which I can actually show to you real quick.
Yeah.
But you've
I
heard
remember
of...
she's the I've heard of her. Yeah.
Yeah, you've heard of her. You've not really gotten to put a face to the name though. But this girl does pipe up and chuckle. And she just says, "Don't mind those two. They're not really super talkative. Here, come on over." And she like extends a hand as if she wants to, you know, give you a handshake.
Yeah. I go up to shake her hand.
And she gives you a firm handshake, and she says, "It's nice to meet you. What is your name?"
Joe. I'm the class president.
"Oh, you're class president of Class 1B, right?"
Yeah.
"That's awesome. My name's Gloria Johansson. Hero name is Miracle Girl."
Nice. Gosh, everyone has such cool hero names. I'm just Joe.
"Oh, you don't have a hero name?"
No. Not really.
Well, if you ever want help coming up with one, I'd be more than happy to help.
That sounds fantastic. Yeah, actually.
Anyways, let me just quickly formally introduce you to the table. Of course, you met Xyler over here, and that's Morgan. And over here, and she gestures to, the clearly alien student, and she says, "This is Vazula." Look at this dude.
They look beautiful. They look beautiful. I love that design.
She gestures and says, "This is Vazula." And he nods with a smile and says, "Charmed to make your acquaintance."
Oh, wow. It's great to meet you. Sorry, because I didn't see past Aiden over here.
"Oh, that is quite all right. I do blend in very well with water, considering the planet I come from."
What planet is that?
It is not easily pronounceable in the common tongue here, but it is a planet coated mostly in darkness, submerged fully in oceans.
Wow. That's incredible, and I just recently became waterproof.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to go for a swim.
And I heard brief mention over there. You said you have not been alive for very long.
No, not at all.
Well, you seem to be adjusting quite well.
Honestly, it's been hard, but there's a lot of really cool people here that have kind of helped me figure out how certain things work.
Yes, the people here are very interesting. They are all...
Still... Go ahead. Sorry.
Some of them are surprisingly mature for people their age.
I agree.
Well,
I feel like
go on.
the reason I've like been able to do a lot of these different like things that I wouldn't normally have been able to do is just because I've been kind of following the lead of certain people. I still make a fool out of myself quite frequently, so.
Well, that is quite all right. You can't always be performing at top notch, and at the same time, every time you make some kind of mistake, as long as you learn from it, you're less likely to make the same mistake later.
That is very wise.
Thank you very much. And Aiden turns over to you and says, Vazula here said that he seemed interested in our club.
That would be great. Yeah, it's just all about people not from around here, new to Earth in any way, so that we can just learn about,
Yes.
how to be here, how to function.
I do still have quite a lot to learn about human society, even in all of my... what do you call them here? The passes of the sun. I suppose your orbits around the sun. It's been...
Years?
Yes, in my 30 years of being alive ever since hatching from my cocoon, I have learned a lot in all of my travels, but I am still quite fascinated by human culture.
Right. That is wild. So 30 years. Is that... That's crazy.
Oh, do forgive me. My species lives for quite a long time, so I am still considered an adolescent. I understand that to be 30 years old here is much older, probably closer to some of the teachers, yes?
I guess. I mean, I'm a robot, so I don't know exactly how aging works for me, but I know that this is exactly the type of conversations that I want to take place in the club so that we can all understand each other more.
Yes, I think that would be very nice. Do you have any more flyers left?
Yeah, here. I hand them out, and I give one here to Gloria as well.
And she takes it and she says, "Oh, this sounds like it's going to be wonderful. Oh, this is exactly the kind of club that we should be having around here. It's so good of you to be doing this, and so brave too."
Oh, thank you.
She smiles and she just says, "If you ever need any help from the honor roll, just feel free to give me a call."
I appreciate that. I'll definitely do that. This is something where, do I need to ask for her number then? Or
you know, you have seen that whenever people exchange numbers, they seem to tap their phones together.
Yeah.
And you have subverted
I go to fist bumper. Can I do that?
She like, you guys talk about exchanging numbers, and she pulls out her phone, and then you go for a fist bump, and she goes to do a normal fist bump with you, and you're like, no, the phone. And then she bumps her phone against your fist gently, and your eyes light up when you get her contact information.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, wow,
Thank
that's
you.
so cool."
Nice. I'll definitely contact you.
Awesome.
Man, this is amazing. Like, I'm just like, this club's gonna be popping.
Vazula looks over to you and says, So, when is the first meeting of this club?
Out of character, it'd be the end of this week, right? Like
Yeah,
after
sometime. You think either like Thursday or Friday, someday right before the end of the week, but you have to make sure you'll have enough time to set everything up as well.
It'll be on Friday.
Very good. Then I will make sure to be there on Friday at room. And he looks at the flyer. Ah, yes. I can find my way there easily.
Awesome. Great. I'll see you guys there.
Very good. Thank you very much for the invitation. And Gloria waves to you and says, bye! And then Aiden comes to slither along and follow you. Those guys were really nice.
They were super nice.
Alright, is there anywhere else you want to go in the lunchroom?
So, I just want to make sure I've got everyone, like, because I want Triff there. I want, these two there. Aiden's gonna be there. Echo's gonna be there. Is Kenzie coming?
Well, you can ask her.
I'm actually gonna sit down.
You go to sit down and Aiden sloshes in next to you. And Echo is having a conversation with Terry at the moment. And Kenzie, without looking up, just says, so, are things going well?
Yeah. Are you gonna be coming?
Well, I do normally have the engineers club after school, but coming to at least the first meeting should be fun, especially if that means I get to spend some time with you.
Then let's do it.
Awesome.
It's awesome, because now I just feel way more confident about actually hosting this. We have a good mix of people that are from here, not from around here. I feel like it's going to open up some good dialogue for the first meeting.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to be pretty scary, too, for you and for the people you're inviting.
How so?
Well, I mean, when people come from a lot of different places, you're never really completely sure if their beliefs and ideologies and blah 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 are gonna line up. I mean, you never know if you invite somebody from another planet if they themselves are gonna be xenophobic about, like, people or other alien races. Maybe two of them would have a grudge against each other. I mean, it's a real topic and breeding ground for a lot of hatred, so it's really brave of you to do something like this.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use my universal engineering stuff on Kenzie's equipment.
Okay. So you can roll to assess the situation and ask questions, and you get a follow-up question after your other questions, whatever you get.
Let's see how this goes.
That's a 9, so you get one question and then an additional question.
Any 2 questions?
Form questions, like, you've got a few examples on the assess the situation list, but you can ask questions that are in, like, a similar vein.
Does her technology that's on her, does it look like it's from Earth, or does it look like it's from somewhere else?
It definitely seems like it is made of Earth materials, and given how often she's fidgeting with it and the structure of it, it does seem like this is all stuff she built herself.
Got it, and then I get one extra question.
Mm-hmm.
Get a better idea of what I want. Second question is, why does it feel like Kenzie's trying to intimidate me?
It feels that way because she is... You get the feeling that she is kind of a pessimistic and cautious person. It seems like she is genuinely saying these things out of, like, oh yeah, like, people, it's so easy for people to fight, and about this kind of stuff, that this is, like, legitimately brave of you to be doing, because, again, people fight about this kind of thing so easily. And it's just kind of it's not surprising to her, but, you know, again, given what you can glean from her response, you can sort of get a little bit of insight into the human condition of, like, how used to racism humans are.
Joe is going to say, "Oh, Kenzie, I'm a glass half full kind of guy."
Well, that's a good quality to have. By the way, could you come over here a sec?
Over there?
Yeah, over here.
Looking over. What's up?
And she actually turns her head towards you, and, you know, she brings her hands out of her big pincers, which are now laying on the table, and she just puts her hands on your chest.
What are you doing?
You look really different, and I didn't say anything until now because you were busy, but, like, you look really different. What happened?
I'm gonna, like, grab her hands, like, kind of at the wrist, not hard or anything, but enough to stop her, you know, and kind of lower them. I just changed.
You can feel when you do that her hands start shaking a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna just lower those down. I just changed. I transformed.
Oh. She puts her hands back into her big old pincers, seemingly, like, in a more defensive posture now. And she says, "Well, it's quite the drastic change. It's a good change. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, you know, I'm not trying to, like, imply anything. It's just kind of incredible. I mean, you look different. You act different. It's really cool. I didn't expect anything like this to happen, so I'm just very intrigued is all."
Yeah, I actually might be joining you guys more in the engineering club too.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
Well, I guess any day you're not doing your club, you know, feel free to go by. Echo may or may not be there. I'll be there every day I can be. And she nudges Echo, and he's, like, got food in his mouth. He's like, "Huh? What?" And then doesn't talk for the rest of the scene because he's not here. Just keeps eating. He seems to be thinking about something and talking to Terry a little bit.
Food. Oh, yeah. I definitely think I'm gonna do, I'll do a friendship gathering club. I think I'm looking at 3 days a week. I think 3 days a week is what I want to do for it.
Well,
I'll talk to the group and see what everybody's feeling.
Yeah, I guess you're gonna have a lot of people that may or may not have a bunch of different clubs, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. You seem like a smart guy.
It's supposed to be kind of a hangout place anyway, so just a safe spot for people to go during club time.
Oh, you know what you could do? You could do something kind of like the open labs do.
What do you mean?
Well, a lot of the labs here around school, and like the newspaper club and stuff like that, they basically allot their space as being open to club members after school every day of the week, and then they just schedule certain days that events happen, and then everyone from the club makes sure to attend for those events, but otherwise you're free to come and go as you please.
I feel like that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I am going to... I feel like that's what I'll also discuss for, like, the first 10 minutes of the meeting, is just what people want to do regarding scheduling.
Aiden, you know, has been idly listening and just sort of like, you know, he's not near anyone, so he can't talk to anyone. But when this is brought up, he's like, "I think that definitely sounds like a good idea, so, you know, I'll probably vote on it. It'd be nice to have somewhere to go after school."
Yeah. See? I think that everybody's gonna like that idea.
Yeah.
It's Kenzie.
And she kind of, like, brings her hand back out of her claw to, like, huff on her nails and polish them on her chest, and she says, "Yes, yes, I know, I'm a genius." Alright, anything else you want to do with lunch?
I think I'm good with lunch.
Okay. Well...
I flirted with every girl. I think I'm
Just flirt with everyone in the lunchroom, really. Like, that should be the goal.
Hey, sexy, you want to join my club?
Hey, babe. Heard you wanted to make some friends. But okay. So yeah, Lunchtime passes that day, and eventually, you continue on with the rest of the school day. You go to your classes as normal. The day ends, and you take some time after class that day in order to, you and Aiden, to start out with at least, move over to the club room and start trying to, like, unpack things, see what's there, and assess the inventory.
Said, yep.
Okay. I thought you said whoop, like you were about to ask me to stop.
No, it's all good. Alright.
So, you return to your club room during lunch the next day, as you had briefly talked with Aiden about. And the day after, and the day after, and even the day after that, as many days in a row as you can. You start coming to the club room during lunch, during your free time. Neither you or Aiden need to eat, of course, so all of this extra time helps immensely with getting everything you don't need moved out, everything you do need moved in, assessing what you have, what you don't have, and plus, working after school for a couple of days, grants you plenty of time to decorate. So, what kinds of decorating are you doing? What will this room look like by the end?
So, this room being set up, like, now that we had this discussion of as a hangout space, and I'm here with Aiden too, and we're having conversations probably the whole time about, like, yeah, and then we could play games over here, and da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this room is gonna be both separated and integrated at the same time, in the way where, like, there are a couple chairs against the walls, like over here and over here, so you can sit like in the corner space, but then you could like be up and standing over here,
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there should be like areas for playing games and things like that over here, like board games or like mixtures of like earthly games and games from other worlds,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah, I just feel like there should be. Another thing I want is just like a line on the floor so that we can play the line game. I feel like
You feel like getting tape out and just putting white tape on the floor would probably serve that purpose, at least, whenever you want to do
exactly.
it. But yeah, you start thinking about all these things, and you start moving things around to get this set up the way you want to have it. And definitely, like, you reach out to, you said you wanted Chrysalis to be the teacher that, like, was kind of your overseer for the club.
Yeah, and I asked them about it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, when you're talking with her about it, she's super eager to help try to make anything you're wanting to make come true in here come true if it's possible. You ask about the games, and she's like, I'm sure that we could get, like, a pool table or, like, table hockey or something donated, or something in like the game room that's not used anymore moved in here. As for otherworldly games, she would ask around some of the teachers and see what they could find. So she's also kind of helping you on her front to get this set up. You even send messages out to some of your friends, and Echo like responds back and is like, oh, if you need an otherworldly game, I might be able to hook you up, give me a while. So you're like, okay, is Echo gonna be able to find something for me? And things are going really well. And after a few days, the decorating is nearing completion. You're positive that everything will be ready in time for you to host the day before your deadline at this rate. So, like, what's your feeling over the course of these couple of days as, like, the classroom, the club room even starts to sort of take shape?
Writing this down so I don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
What are they feeling as the classroom takes place?
As everything is starting to take shape, just what are Joe's natural feelings coming? Because we're like fast forwarding. We had like our montage of all the stuff you did throughout the week, and it's like kind of the day before everything is going to be ready. Obviously, I'm going to need to build the finished club room outside of this session so that I know. But it's the day before and things are starting to take shape. Well, what's Joe feeling and thinking at this time as you guys are like setting down some of the last things you're moving in?
Joe, kind of like I want to first say that they would have a moment where they look to Aiden and they're like, Aiden, you're my best friend.
Oh, thanks. You're my best friend too.
I've been super stressed, honestly. That's why it took me so long to host this club. I've just been so focused on other things that have been going on. Thank you for helping me just throw all of this together this week, and now I can finally do it. And once it gets going, I think once the ball's rolling, you know, it's just gonna get better and better.
Yeah, this is a really good thing. And I'm excited to have somewhere to go and to hang out with you and everybody else.
Right, this is gonna be the total chill spot for everybody.
Alright. So what do people usually do when they chill out?
That's what we're gonna find out.
Because I really, I'm kind of afraid of the idea of being fully frozen, but, you know, maybe, like, if you just throw a couple of ice cubes in me, that might not be so bad.
No. Listen, it's not... Okay, so I learned chill out, right?
Uh-huh.
Chill out. Okay, because Echo says this all the time, and so does Lily. It means that you hang out with each other.
Oh!
Or like,
oh!
Yeah. Just like
hey
how
guys!
hanging out... Whoa!
Aiden, like, splats on the floor in a puddle and starts picking himself up. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to surprise you guys. I was just really excited. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. What's up, Ken?
Nothing much. I just wanted to check out and see how everything's going in here.
It's going. It's coming. It's almost done.
And you actually know that throughout the week, it seems like Kathleen has also been very excited about this and has just been helping you with whatever, like, running errands you needed to do. Like, if you gave Kathleen a job, Kathleen would teleport, like, instantly and do it. And now, you know, today you haven't given her any tasks, so you think that maybe she's confused and, like, thinking today is the first day of the club.
Oh. Well, yeah, the club is gonna be, you know, going on tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
No, I mean, you're fine. You can just hang out. I mean, we're just doing all the final touches, you know, doing all the little things to make it look how you want. Do you want to do some final touches?
And she, poofs and disappears from the room. Mm-hmm. You guys have a minute. You and Aiden both kind of look at each other, and then poof, she comes back in, and she has a little box where she's, like, holding the handles of it, and it's got a bunch of, like, streamers and hangable decorations. And she's like, I thought these would be pretty.
Kathleen! Did you steal these?
What? No.
Is that the truth?
No. But I didn't... They were in the art room closet. Nobody was using them.
Think they'll notice? Looks to Aiden.
Aiden just looks between you two and is like, oh, I don't know.
That is good enough for me. Go ham. You could
yeah!
do it.
And she starts teleporting around.
I look to Aiden. That's another one I learned. Go ham. It means to do something else.
Oh, I thought that meant you were telling somebody to... Well, anyway. This place is really coming together, though. I'm getting more and more excited every day.
Me too.
And you hear a knock at the door.
Oh. Well, see if it's someone else who doesn't know the club starts today. Or doesn't start today. I open the door.
And the mechanical door buzzes open.
Oh, hey!
Vizua. Hello. I know I'm a little bit early, but I just wanted to come and see if you all needed help with anything.
Oh, I mean, yeah, honestly, I was just saying to Kathleen, we can use everybody's kind of touch on the classroom. I feel like I kind of leave the door open, you know, like, hold it and let them in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want it to feel like a good place for everybody, so if you feel like it needs anything.
He kind of looks around. Oh, you know, I've seen something that might be just what you're looking for. There's this strange device I've seen some people use in their bedrooms at the dorms, where it has a little light in it, and when you turn it on, it casts the stars over the walls and ceiling.
Like a, mind like races, and I'm like a projector?
Similar. It's more like a little lamp, and the shade that's over it has these little shapes cut out of it. And so then the entire room looks like it's in space. That
Like
might make people feel a little more at home.
That's a really good idea. Kind of like look between them for a second, and I go, guys, like, I know, Aiden, you don't join more water or anything, but, like, do you, Vizula, do you need somewhere to chill that's, like, water?
I do think that I'll be alright. Earth's atmosphere is not dry enough that it affects me in any major way, though of course I am not quite as active and able-bodied as I would be in, say, your ocean. Oh?
Apologies for that, my headphones died.
Oh.
Sorry, Vizula said I am not as dried out by, like, the climate.
Yeah, he's basically like, I'm alright. Earth's atmosphere isn't, like, too dry. I'm not as able-bodied out of the ocean as I am, but he's like, I should be alright.
I would love to learn more about your planet, and just about how you, prefer water, though? Do you prefer to be in water?
Normally I do, yes, but it is privy that I walk among the land and see how Earthlings live their lives, if I am to better understand it, yes? Those that live beneath the water's surface live very different lives.
Oh, for sure, but, on the topic of this just being a hangout and a safe space for everyone, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of both amphibious and just water-breathing people who would kind of prefer. Like, if Joe is kind of looking over the room real fast and is like, I feel like it should be like right here.
Vizula chuckles.
In the center.
Vizula chuckles and says, "Well, I'm not quite sure if we'll be able to put a pool in here. And it might be a little difficult to add anything else full of water, but maybe if you ask the teacher, we can see if we can make it happen."
Joe smiles. He's like, I will definitely do that. This club, it's not just about the people here on Earth teaching us how to be Earthlings. It's also about us teaching the people on Earth to accept people from other planets. If you need water, you need water.
I am very excited to enlighten everyone about my people and my world. It is quite nostalgic. I have not been home in a very long time.
I feel like a lot of people can relate to that sentiment too.
And Vizula just smiles at you, and you get you get the feeling that he kind of shares the sentiment everyone else has been saying of like, this is an awesome thing that you're doing. It seems like everybody's really on board with it.
Yeah, I feel like I actually started to type it, but I feel like Joe would say it. He would say, hey, whenever I first did this, it was just because I felt insulted by someone who was in my class. But I'm realizing now that it's a lot more than that. A lot of the homes of different aliens, people from other planets, your guys' homes have been either destroyed or they're in war, darkness, and after having so many of you guys share your stories, it seems necessary now that this takes place.
You saw a flash before as Kathleen had teleported and disappeared, and she's teleported back in and continues, like, teleporting around and hanging things up. It seems like she left to get a stool to stand on. You're giving... You give this sentiment, and Kathleen starts teleporting around again, and Vizula gives a warm smile, and just says, "This club has a lot of potential to be a lot of different things for a lot of different people. Do you think that this is the type of club you will want to persist after you are gone?
Yeah, no, for sure. I would definitely want someone to take it over for me after I leave.
Well, then, on whatever steps of your journey you see fit, I would love to be able to assist and help cement this club in the school's history so that it may survive as long as possible.
Oh, for sure. That sounds great.
Oh, your mic is popping a little bit.
Yeah, I know, I just fixed it.
There you go.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're all gonna be helping each other. At least for the beginning.
Yes. And what teacher did you choose in order to oversee this?
Chrysalis.
Ah, Miss Chrysalis. She is quite pleasant, isn't she?
Yeah, she's kind of one of my favorite teachers.
Yes. I feel much the same. She is one of the teachers of this school that I feel is the most open-minded to those of different lives and situations than her own.
Definitely. That's exactly why I chose her. Like, she'd understand the importance.
Have you spoken to Great Oak?
Not yet. No, I did consider Great Oak, though. It was kind of between Great Oak and Chrysalis.
You remember Great Oak, basically the only times you interact with Great Oak are in your English class.
Yeah.
And now that you think about it in your mind, you're like, Vazula and Great Oak have very similar temperaments.
Yeah, they do.
But when you think of this, Vazula smiles and says, I am a part of Class 1A, along with Kathleen here. Hi! She keeps teleporting around and, continuing to put things on the wall. And he says, Great Oak is our homeroom teacher, so we see him quite a lot. I do believe that out of all of the teachers of this school, he is one of the gentlest souls. It is very easy to feel at peace around him. I would recommend that you speak to him at some time. I feel that doing so will have a positive effect on anyone's life.
Oh. In Joey's head is like that read like a fortune cookie, but yeah, I will seek out the prophet. Well, sure.
And then Kathleen is going to hang something up, and she drops it to the ground. It's like, oh, shoot, I don't have enough hands for this. Oh, allow me. And Vazula goes over, and you see that his, tendril hair and his arms all unfurl into long, basically elastic tentacles, and he starts, holding everything up with his shape-shifted arms so that Kathleen can pin them on the wall.
Holy crap. That's incredible.
Oh, thank you very much. It is just a part of my natural biology. And then
Man.
Aiden slithers over and says, is there anything else we need to get done today?
Don't think so. Honestly, I think it's just about the decorations and yeah, that's it. Just kind of the random decor. I'm gonna get some snacks from here on Earth so that I can have the snack table open and then let other people add snacks to it as time goes on.
Well, that's going to be good for everyone that can eat. I do wonder what kinds of snacks we should bring. And you hear an urgent knocking at the door. And you hear a muffled voice. Hello?
What do you guys want to grab that?
Kathleen, kind of stumbles on the stool before teleporting and, landing on her butt across the room. And Vazula goes to calmly open the door before it is, bursts open. And a familiar face storms inside. Hello, is everyone here okay?
Yeah, we're fine. What are you doing in full hero costume?
Oh, right now the honor roll is doing rounds around the school. We just got done tearing apart a fight behind the dorms.
Oh. Well, who was fighting?
He said this, kind of just recalling him when you ask. He perks up, and he storms over and he says, Joey, you're friends with Echo. Did you know about his fight after school?
What?
Yes! We just had to tear apart Echo and one of the kids in Class 1A. Oh, that was probably Heist.
Which
Yes.
kid?
His name is Eugene. Apparently he's a bit of a troublemaker in their class. Currently they're being taken to speak to the monitor right now about their punishment.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it is currently after school. And it's a little while after school. You were here with Aiden for a little while before Kathleen appeared, and you were like, oh, we're just kind of finishing getting ready. And when she appeared with stuff and was asking about the club, you were like, oh, this is surprising. Now that, everyone's kind of like moving around here, and Nelson's like, hey, there was a fight going on. You're like, wait, what? Is that why there weren't like people in the hallways? Like for clubs and stuff?
Yeah. Jeez. Okay. Maybe now out of character here. Should I be like leaving to go and check and investigate on that, or is that something
you ask Nelson, like, hey, like, is he okay? Should I go check on him? And he says, Echo is fine for the most part. He was bleeding, but one of the other members of the honor roll, again, she took him to speak with the monitor, so his time is going to be taken for the rest of the evening, I suppose. And I was just scolding him about... not Gloria, though she is a part of the honor roll. It's one of our other members, Alexis. This is someone you haven't met before, although they are in our current handouts.
Yeah, but I haven't met them. Damn.
Mm-hmm. And he waves his hand and says, anyways, I just got done this morning scolding Echo about getting detention for the last week for breaking that glass door, and now he's getting into fights after school? I'm starting to get worried about him, Joe.
Listen, I'll talk to Echo, but I don't think he's on a bad path. He's just getting a little, confused, that's all.
I know. And I know that Echo's not a bad guy. Again, I talked with him about it, but... it's just a shame. It really can be a slippery slope. And you have to understand that the rules are here for a reason. If we just start breaking rules willy-nilly, more people are going to get hurt. But I suppose that the monitor is going to be scolding him enough about this, so I'm sure he doesn't need to hear it from me or from any of the rest of us.
Hey, put a hand on Nelson's shoulder. Take a breather. Relax. You did a good job.
Yes, I suppose so. And it's such a shame, too. He just sighs and thinks for a moment, and Kathleen says, oh yeah, that was rough. It's a shame that Echo lost the fight.
Oh wait, what? He lost?
Oh yeah, and she poofs and teleports over. Eugene kicked his ass. He had like his foot on Echo's head and everything. Echo was about to break out. He was kind of cheating through a lot of the fight, I guess. But then the honor roll appeared and broke it up. Lily thought it was hilarious, though.
Does anyone know why they started fighting in the first place?
Apparently, Eugene just started spreading a rumor and challenged him without challenging him, and basically gave him the ultimatum of show up or everyone's going to think you ditched because you were afraid. It really wasn't worth the time. Quite underhanded, if I would say so.
So caught up in doing all my club stuff, I didn't even know this was going on.
Well, I don't blame you, Joe. I know that if you knew this was happening, you would have told me. I'm surprised no one else did, though. It's almost like people were avoiding me about it.
Nelson, seriously doubt that.
I don't know. And Kathleen says, oh no, we were definitely avoiding him.
Right, so, Kathleen.
Yeah, Lily said that we should avoid telling Nelson so the fight would happen. She said it was going to be really cool.
Like, I'm looking to see Nelson's reaction, but he's still in his costume.
Nelson seemed to be thinking, and Kathleen is like more saying this to you, Joe, so it doesn't seem like Nelson picked up on this, as he's just thinking like, people can't be avoiding me, right? And Kathleen just says this to you, not like shouting it to the group. How do you take this?
Hold on. Think of the word.
Aiden, meanwhile, his body is just like rumbling lowly as he just like sits here and is watching this conversation happen.
So sometimes, certain things require stealthiness.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and secrecy.
Yeah.
Confidentiality.
Yeah.
So we don't need to tell Nelson, that we don't tell Nelson. You know what I mean?
You like had grabbed Kathleen when she started saying this and like pulled her aside and whispering like, we don't need to let him know. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought that because the fight happened, we were like, that it wasn't like a secret anymore because he saw it. But I won't tell Nelson about it. Don't worry. And she like sticks her tongue out and gives you a thumbs up.
No, you don't tell Nelson that we don't tell Nelson things. You can talk to him about the fight, but don't tell Nelson that you weren't gonna tell him about it.
Oh, right? Okay. I don't know why, but sure.
It's because Nelson likes to know things. Nelson likes to know things too. And he doesn't need to know that we don't tell him things that we know. No.
It seems like a lot of people don't want to tell Nelson things. He seems like he's not very cool.
It's not that he's not cool.
What are you guys talking about?
Hey, cool guy. Man. You are looking mighty good today, honestly.
I thought you were about to be like, hey, you're looking muscular today. Joe continues to flirt with every single character.
Looking submissive and breedable.
Oh, God. You say that and he's like, oh, well, thank you. I did work out this morning along with Echo. Well, at least we recently rescheduled our team workouts for the mornings now, so even though he has detention, he won't have to miss them.
Yeah, you're gonna set him on the right path, man.
Well, I'm sure that Echo would be on a fine path without me, but I just want to help uplift all of my fellow classmates as high as I possibly can. Speaking of, Mr. President, it seems that beginning of next week, next Monday, we're going to have to attend a meeting with the student council.
Oh, really? What about?
Just about some upcoming event towards the fall. I believe it was homecoming.
Who's coming here?
I'm sorry?
Someone coming home?
Oh! I do apologize. And Nelson goes on to explain the concept of homecoming to you three who had never heard of it before, and Vizula, also ends up moving over and listening to him explain what homecoming is.
Whoa. So it's like a dance. It's a dance.
Yes, though it's not to be confused with prom, which only the upperclassmen are able to join towards the end of the year. It's sort of like a social gathering and mini-dance for all of us underclassmen.
It's like the second level of dancing. This level comes later.
Yes, I suppose so. I believe that's what we're going to be talking about, because I don't think there are any other events going on in the near future that would be relevant to speak of now, though the student council may be trying to look ahead. Either way, if it is about homecoming, we're probably going to be discussing the theme and possible decorations. But that's for next week. I just wanted to let you know to make sure that was coming up.
No, I think that your explanation was great. And I think that actually, after we have this student council meeting, I'd like to have you to be our speaker for the friendship gathering group, so you can explain to people about homecoming.
Oh, well, I would be delighted.
Bet tons of people in this group won't know what that is, and they are going to need the most heads up for it.
Yes, I'll do my best.
That's fantastic.
Well, I suppose I should get going. Earlier today, Lily told me about a pin thief, and I've been hot on his trail.
Oh. Well, you catch him, man.
I will! I can't even believe that Nightwalker didn't notice that one of his pins was missing. He walks off and he says, there are 5 every day before class, but there were only 4. But I'll catch that pin thief. And he leaves the room.
Nelson is a lot. You learn to love him.
Kathleen smiles and says, yeah, he seems really funny. And Vizula just smiles pleasantly. Well, shall we continue decorating the room?
I think that's a great idea.
Very well. And you guys continue decorating the room together. And, you know, more time passes as you spend, you know, maybe like 30 minutes, an hour with everybody. And, you know, you guys wrap things up. You all eventually say some goodbyes to each other, and you and Aiden head down the main hall towards the entrance of the school.
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys are just walking along, idly chatting to one another about whatever it is. I mean, you know, what is it that you're sort of thinking and having on your mind right now? Like, are you thinking about the club? Are you thinking about what happened with Echo, the whole class president thing? Because there's a lot going on in Joe's life all of a sudden.
Joe would to Aiden and actually just be like, so who are you gonna take to the dance?
Oh, do we get to choose?
I mean, that's what Nelson said.
I guess so. I don't know. I guess I'd kind of like to go with you if you'd want to go to the dance together.
Joe doesn't know. I don't know.
What, Chloe?
Joe doesn't know.
Joe doesn't know what?
Joe doesn't know what their answer is.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm not sure, man.
Oh.
I kind of want to go with you, but I also kind of want to ask someone myself.
Oh, well, you know, that's okay. You can do whatever you want and ask whoever you want to go to the dance, but, I mean, you know, since you asked and all.
Sorry.
No, it's
like,
okay.
Has a quick moment for a second and is like, listen, I still want to, like, go to the dance with you. It's just, I kind of want to go with people that we ask together, you know, as like a group. Both of us need to ruffle up the confidence to ask somebody.
Oh, yeah, I guess. And then you hear a mechanical door open up behind you. Honestly. And you see this kid walk out.
I want to say that because Joe is kind of in this conversation, can I bump into this kid on accident?
Yeah, you can. You guys are like walking along as this is happening.
Yeah, and I'm like looking at Aiden, like, you gotta ask someone, Aiden. It's gonna be good for our confidence.
Mm-hmm. And then you bump into this guy as he's walking out, like, you know, scratching the back of his head. And when you bump into him and look at him, this is who you see.
Knew it. Had a feeling.
You bump into him and he just says, watch it.
Watch it.
He like squints at you, and goes
almost knocked me into my friend.
He looks past you into your friend and he just says, I'm sure he wouldn't have felt it.
What's that supposed to mean?
He's made of water. And Aiden's like, I guess that's true. I probably wouldn't have felt very much.
No, don't let him talk to you like that, Aiden.
Oh, okay. And he just...
His feelings.
He scoffs and waves his hand and is like, whatever, I don't have time for this. And he starts walking away.
What a frump.
A what?
A frump. That's just me insulting him by saying something. Yeah, walk away.
He looks back to you, and he gives like a smirk over his shoulder, and he turns around and says, are you trying to start something?
I mean, you just walked out of the principal's office, so I guess you have to decide. Wanna make another trip there?
He gives like an angry like grin at you, like gritting his teeth a bit, and then he scoffs and says, "Well, I don't have time to waste on you anyways. I have better things to do. Besides, I've already wiped the floor with one person today. Why sully my hands with another?" And he turns to the door again.
What? What's that?
And Aiden slithers over and is like, "Is that the guy that Echo was in a fight with?"
Yeah, was.
He exits the school.
Yeah, Joe right now is like having a moment like, oh, so angry. Definitely all the fist up. Just.
You wanna mark the angry condition for me?
I do.
Yeah. Aiden like looks at you as you seem, pissed. This is an emotion that you don't experience very often at all, because you've been passively angry like a teenager would be, but this is like you're like fuming with a new emotion. And Aiden, looks like kind of like concerned for you, and he looks at you and says, "Hey, it's okay."
Not okay. Should have been there. I shouldn't have let him beat up Echo like that. If I was there, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, I guess we were really busy with the club and stuff, but I guess we can't really change things now that it's happened.
No, but think of a way to get it back.
Oh, like revenge?
Oh, not revenge, Aiden. Justice.
Yeah, that's the thing that heroes do.
Exactly.
And in the back of Joe's mind, he's like, yes, justice.
Stomping further down the hall.
Aiden is like more pleased as he slithers after you. He's like, "Oh, I've heard that justice is a really good thing. This is okay then."
Oh man.
But yeah.
Oh, it took everything in me to not be like, oh, I punch him.
God, that would have been fucking hilarious.
I know. I really wanted to do it for Echo, but then I wouldn't be president anymore.
You held back. You're thinking about a way to deal with it later.
I'm gonna deal with it correctly with my president powers. I'm gonna become an icon.
God, well, Aiden continues slithering along with you, and just seems to like be there to listen. If you have, any words that you want to vent or just talk, or just kind of like try to help mellow out a little bit at the end of the day.
I feel like at the very end, like the last thing like Joe would say to Aiden before like finally splitting, before going to separate rooms and stuff, is it would be him being like, "You know what we need? Handshake."
Oh.
And I want them to take like 5 minutes to make up their own handshake.
Okay, let me real quick move us to the dorms, because you guys are like outside of the dorms. You're like, what we need a handshake, and Aiden's like, "Oh, I've never had a handshake before," and then you guys start like trying to think of something to do for your fun friend handshake.
So I want it to be simple, and I want it to be like we clap our hands against hands, quote unquote, his being water, so it makes like a little splash. Like do like side, back of the hand, and then I want him to make a little wave, and I do little fingers so it looks like someone's like on a surfboard.
Okay, yeah, you guys come up with that, and Aiden's very easily able to pull this off, and he giggles when you guys come up with it. He's very pleased by this.
Yeah. Perfect.
This is awesome. This is a handshake only we can do.
Exactly.
And then he smiles and he says, well, I guess it's time for me to go to my room. What are you going to be doing the rest of the night?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna just... I don't know. I take some time to myself, honestly.
Yeah, it's been kind of an exhausting week, I guess. But
It really has.
hey, tomorrow we get to do the club, and we'll just go from there.
Exactly. Alright, one more time and later, bud. And then they probably do the handshake one more time before he leaves.
And he giggles and waves to you, says goodnight, and he slithers off to go upstairs to his room. And you're kind of like hanging out in the dorm lobby, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, and you're like, huh, my room is still up in like the girls' wing of the building. Does that matter? Are they going to have to move me? Nobody said anything this past week, so I guess not. But like you just kind of like start having those thoughts along with your new, your new gender identity and your new sense of self.
Oh, for sure.
And then the thought crosses your mind of, I guess if they moved my room anyways, this could always happen again, and then, I might need to move my room again, so...
Joe would have a quick, like, not like selfish, but almost like a prideful thought that's like, I should vouch for my own house.
I should have my own space. That would make things a lot easier.
Probably then, like, going into, like, thinking, like, would it be like, I'm gonna graduate from here and I'm gonna be an adult?
Mm-hmm.
Adult, quote unquote. And having, like, man, Bazula's been alive for 30 years and they're still, like, a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be alive for, like, 5 years and I'm gonna be an adult.
Mm-hmm. You're thinking about, like, what was it like seeing my dad as an adult? And it was like, you remember being in the car a lot. And you're like, huh,
yeah.
Well, I am a car. So if I'm a car a lot, maybe that's enough.
Right? Right? Do I age? I don't think I'd age. I think I'll just be this way forever. Then I do change. Is that like aging?
And as you're thinking about this, somebody walks down into the lobby of the dorms. Who just walked down into the lobby of the dorms at the school?
What?
Hey, there he is. It's Echo. Echo just appeared.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're sitting here thinking to yourself about your room situation, and then you hear little bits of clacking of the prosthetics as Echo just sort of walks down, thinking to himself. And for Echo, this is right after the event that happened to you. Basically, like, this is after you said goodbye to your guest. So yeah,
last session.
Yes.
Okay.
So you walk down the stairs. You've just said goodbye, and you sent him on his way home. And you're like, oh man, thinking about maybe grabbing a snack or something, going on a little bit of a walk on my own for a minute. I don't know. And you walk down, and you see Joe in the lobby of the dorms here.
I kind of pauses, and he kind of looks up to Joe. He looks kind of tired and a bit haggard, to say the least, and he kind of waves. He's like, hey.
Oh my god. And he, like, runs to you and he goes to hug you.
What?
Sorry.
How hard does he hug?
Not super hard, but I'm made of metal.
He kind of, like, he gets hugged and he kind of, like, does Joe do the thing where, like, they lift him up?
No, I'm not lifting you up.
Okay. He kind of gives a weak chuckle. Like, hey, he kind of pats his back. How are you doing?
So sorry, I got caught up setting up the club and everything like that. I heard about your fight from Nelson, of all people.
Yeah, it was okay. What did he tell you?
He said that, Iced or Eugene or whatever started it, and that he also finished it.
I don't know what the school thinks about it right now. My he reaches into his under his poncho and he pulls out his data pad, which is currently
Busted.
kind of in pieces. Yeah.
Yes.
The screen looks like it blew out.
What happened?
I tried to use it to fight in like a move, and like it didn't. They stopped us before I got to kick his ass, but
What's his power?
I couldn't tell you.
Was he just really strong?
I know he could stretch his limbs and like pin me down by like pointing to me. It was really strange. Anyways,
I'm gonna find a way to get back at this guy though. I mean,
No.
I'm
No, it's fine. I've already been enough trouble for both of us, so don't worry about it. I talked to Foresight, and I'm gonna lose my position on the leaderboard as well. I don't want that to happen to you.
But how are you losing it? What do you mean?
Because I've been in trouble before. It's a punishment.
Does that just mean your name's getting taken off the list?
No, I'm just probably gonna be knocked down a bit. He seems kind of deflated about this. His like shoulders sag as he sighs.
So sorry, man.
It's fine. I'm not used to these rules coming here. It's still something I got to get used to, and it's not always about what you can show others. Sometimes.
Listen, it's kind of, I've been doing this whole friendship gathering group this whole like week, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be talking a lot about that kind of stuff in the group tomorrow, and just kind of how we can better blend in without, you know, running into all these obstacles, and also how to stand out in a safer way.
And not get in trouble. I hope.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Really.
Joe kind of like looks around for a second and
I'm
is
also
like,
I'm real quick gonna give you guys a visual. So you guys you guys will have little tokens here that you can see that you're here. But yeah, you said that you're looking around.
yeah, can you check Discord messages?
Mm-hmm.
In other news, I'm also pretty sure Lily hates my guts, and that was the first reason I got in trouble.
Why does Lily hate you?
Oh, why doesn't she hate me? I tried to express my concern over something I realized with her, and she didn't take it very well. That's why I smashed a window out of anger. It's been a week.
Oh,
Don't feel as much like I was. I don't feel as good as I was prior. I feel like I've kind of fallen apart a bit.
I'm so sorry.
It's
Listen,
not your fault. He smiles at it.
yeah, but you know, it's important, you know, for me to be there. I wasn't there. That's why I'm sorry. I've had stuff that I've just been wanting to talk to you about for this whole week, and I haven't been able to be there.
Echo raises his hands and just kind of smiles and puts a hand on her shoulder. It's fine, Joe. Don't worry about it. What did you want to talk to me about?
Oh, like kind of looks around. Is there anyone down here in this like area?
No, the dorm lobby, which this is the dorm lobby as well, so you don't know if anybody could show up, but these seem to be like the dead hours, so it's kind of clear. And you think that if you talk lowly to yourselves that you probably won't get snuck up on. But then again, you know that people like Kathleen exist who can just like teleport, so really you don't know for sure. But like, hey, there's nobody here at the moment.
Is there a janitor's closet?
Not here.
Echo notices Joe looking around like they're gonna get in trouble for saying this. He's like, we can like head to my dorm or your dorm if we want to talk privately.
Let's do yours. Let's do yours. I feel weird bringing dudes into my dorm. I feel weird being a dude in my dorm. Let's go to yours.
Echo kind of laughs at that because he didn't realize that. How is the new body, by the way? And he kind of like dusts his shoulder off as if it's like it's like a new car. Yeah.
No?
I've never had a what's a car?
You know what a car is. You've been in the Jeep. The Jeep.
Oh, that's a car. Okay.
Motor vehicle.
Right.
It's got that new car smell.
I don't know what that is like either, Joe. I'm sorry.
I'll try to bring about some air fresheners next time I transform. I don't know.
And you guys go to walk up the stairs and head to Echo's room. So let's do that. So you guys walk up the stairs, and you move along the hall, and eventually you make your way over here to the end of the hall, over to Echo's room.
Shit, which one's Echo's again?
No, you are right at the door.
Oh, I'm at the door. Okay, I was like, oh shit. I
can't move my token.
That's okay. I'll fix that.
I assume this school's like pretty high tech. How would you open your doors? Would it just be a key, or would it be like a keypad? What would it be?
You have like a there's like a pad on the wall where normally you would think that you would like swipe a student ID card through it, but you just are able to like tap your student handbook to it and it unlocks your door.
I see how it's broken.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You have superpowers.
Yeah, goes size, and he goes to like he reaches into his thing and he pulls out his he reaches into his poncho, like you assume there's pockets in his poncho. He pulls out his student handbook and he goes to like swipe it, and then it goes
You tap it against the thing and it doesn't make a noise, and you're like, oh right, it's broken.
Damn. Criff, and he goes to like tuck it away and sigh as he opens a portal to the 1 second. He opens a portal to the sand realm, steps in, closes the portal, and you hear a second later the door unlocking as he opens it for Joe.
Thank you.
Good. And he goes to sit down on his bed. Crosses his legs.
We'll change the theme real quick. Just for a change of music.
You can like take my chair here if you want on my desk.
Yeah, sure. So basically, I learned some information from my dad. I don't know why he finally decided to tell me.
Echo's eyebrows shoot into his hairline. He kind of like shakes his head and goes, You had a father?
Yeah.
Who?
I've been wanting to talk to you about this for a while. Honestly, I've been wanting to talk to the whole group, but I can't. I can't talk to them about it. And you can't ask me why. It points at you for a second.
He raises both hands defensively. He kind of goes, yeah. Oh, fine.
Someone needs to know what's going on, especially with you hanging out with, like, Kenzie and me joining the engineering group. Someone needs to know.
Okay. Thank you for trusting me. And he kind of, like, blushes a bit. And his, you can tell because of his ears, and he kind of smiles.
Dad, the person who made me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's... he looks back and forth again, even though we're in the room, and he goes, he's the janitor here.
The, like, older guy who we almost ran over?
Yeah.
Echo kind of looks to the side and he kind of rubs his chin at that. He's like, huh.
He was an engineer, though.
Really?
Electrical engineer. Before he worked here, and he made me.
Right.
Never really gave me much information about it, okay?
Okay.
He finally gave me a little bit of information now, and it turns out that I might not be from this planet either.
Oh, Echo kind of seems he in his head he's like, I could have guessed that, but now that I got confirmation, um, Echo kind of like shrugs and is like, that's so did he make you from parts from another place, or did he find you, or
No nods kind of at the first one. He said that it was like a wreck, like something had fallen from the sky. He said he assumed it was from like another country or something like that, but since I changed Echo, I've been getting these weird glimpses of ships I've never seen on this planet before.
ships? So like,
And just, I don't know, flashes of just information that it's not in the languages I know here.
he points to the book behind Joe, and he goes, "Can you try to draw him?"
Yeah, I can.
He reaches into his poncho and he underhand tosses him a pencil.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and draw the ships that I've been seeing.
Okay. Yeah, you see a lot of large arcing designs, and you try to give like scale next to, okay, imagine this is like, I don't know, floating next to like an asteroid, or like, you know what you do, because you have such specific information, you're able to basically make a little like scale and be like, okay, it's about this long, this wide, and Echo, you see these things, they're huge, and they look like ridiculous in terms of like what it seems like they're capable of. The what could power something like this, you have no idea. But something that is apparent to you, Echo, is that even though you've never seen anything quite like this, it also doesn't seem as bizarre to you as it would to anyone of this world. You've seen a lot more of this kind of stuff and wild otherworldly technology. So when you see this, you're like, okay, I kind of get what you mean.
Do they look like? Because I assume Echo's seen like crashes of ships where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
Do they look like they're clearly like civilian ships, warships? Like
roll
traders?
2. Let's see.
Assess the situation.
Yeah, roll to assess the situation for me.
Okay.
We'll see how many questions you get.
Says the situation.
Yo!
Don't you asking my friends for help would be a good idea.
Don't you have a power that also helps this?
Yes. Sharpened eyes, which essentially, when I assess the situation, I may ask a following question, but that's more, for people or thing.
That's true. I'll say that this counts for this because you're trying to see like what you've seen in the past and you're trying to recall it. So, you get 3 questions.
Hot diggity damn.
And it can be from the assess the situation list. It can also be more specific because you might be trying to glean specific information. I can answer your first question you asked if you want as well.
Sure, we'll count that as one of them.
So, reword your question for me.
Do these ships look like they're used for war?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh shit. What kind of does it? How do I word this? Let me think about this because this is interesting now.
Mm-hmm.
Do they look like similar to any of the wrecks he's seen from where he's from?
Something that you recall is way back in the day, there was one ship that crashed through one of the portals that led to your dimension. You live in Magea, a realm that, is just a big barren wasteland, and people call it the dimensional trash heap, basically. Things just get tossed in there. And you remember very vividly there was a time in the past where a portal opened up and a ship that was mid-crash slammed into the ground and blew up. All of the people that were inside must have died, but scavengers jumped on that ship, like ravenous to get whatever they could from it. And it seemed like a much smaller, maybe like a scouting ship, or maybe like a sort of spy ship. It was just very small and sleek is the point, as opposed to these giant ships that Joe is drawing. But it was very small, and it seemed like everything it was made out of was extremely valuable. Like, by far more valuable than anything else you guys ever found there. And you guys never got a cut of the pie. You guys didn't make it in time.
Okay, I got one more. Does the overall design of the ship reflect Joey's aesthetic?
It's really hard to tell, because Joey has sort of become something different and was, you know, as Joe said, was made by a human, but you can tell that, like, if there were to be some similarities, well, I guess visually it's hard to tell, but Joe said that they were made from stuff from a crashed ship. So, you know, you're like, okay, I guess I could kind of see. The one big thing that stands out to you that you're like, okay, this kind of is like the designer's through line almost, is that there's an area on the ship that looks very reminiscent of when Joe was Joey and didn't have anything covering, like, her torso, where you saw, like, that sort of centrifuge area where the heart was before you guys put the sticker on it. It looks very similar to that, and it looks like it has a different power source, but it looks like it handles it similarly.
Okay. Damn.
And for your reference, Joey, you know that you are powered by electricity, even though your dad has mentioned that these things had some strange power source that he didn't understand.
Alright, got it.
So it seems like your dad wired you up to work with something he did understand, so you would function.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is why, of course, you know, you have limited energy. You have to recharge every night. Otherwise, you know, if you had unlimited energy, you wouldn't need to sleep. But sadly, you do. You're kind of like a phone, I guess, in that case.
I am like a phone.
Recharge. Echo kind of like he's looking over the drawings and he's like tapping his finger to the drawings as he's like mulling over it. He's like, I've seen ships like this before, or at least heard of one that crashed over by where I was living at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you take me to it?
It's absolutely probably stripped for parts. I don't know what's left there still. I have a vague understanding.
You know that you and Karish went to the crash site since, you know, you guys missed out on it, and it was completely picked clean. That crater was like empty when you got there. Only thing left was smoldering flames.
They took the windshields even. It's like it was just too valuable. So many scavengers took things from it. I've seen glimpses of the tech being sold, but even then it's out of my price range, and he kind of gestures to himself with a chuckle. But I have seen these types of ships before. Granted, the one I heard about was smaller in scale. I'm expensive. So you were made out of parts from a ship like this, and you're now remembering this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
What else are you remembering?
How to make weapons. How to make things. Anything. A lot of just information about engineering, building things, building ships like this one that I keep thinking of.
Are you, like, scared?
Like, locks eyes with you for a second and goes, oh yeah. I'm really scared, honestly.
What are you scared about, though?
I can't tell you why I'm scared, but you should be scared too, and you can't tell anyone about this.
No, don't be a Boschtet. Why are you scared? I can't help you if you don't tell me why you're scared.
I can't tell you why I'm scared because my dad said I can't tell anyone why.
Okay, but who am I gonna tell if I can't help you or if I find out anything?
You could tell Kenzie.
Why would I tell Kenzie that?
Because you guys are friends. They
I
want to
would,
know about me. I don't know.
I would
You have to
argue,
be careful, Echo.
Jay, he kind of rubs his eyes. He goes, oh, I'm having flashbacks to Lily. I promise you I will not tell a soul, but if you don't want to tell me, I will respect. I just can't help you unless you tell me things. This is the same thing that happened with Lily, and she just got mad at me.
Right, how do I reject Allison's influence?
That's a good question. Let's look at your sheet.
Yeah.
Just had the lesson altered, and now we're going to try to reject it.
What lesson got altered?
It's okay. You don't need to know that.
I can't tell you.
When you reject one of your lessons, reject its influence as if it were an NPC. If you choose to have it lose influence over you, you can erase that lesson and write a new one in its stead. So, rejecting influence. Let's see.
This is the first anyone's ever done this.
Oh. I'm rejecting it so I can tell you, Echo.
Yeah. When you reject someone's influence, roll. On a hit, you successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. So just roll a flat. Let me make sure. I think it should be a flat die. Let me actually wait. There should be a button on here, on your sheet. Yeah, right under your labels, there's a reject influence button. Click that.
I see. Yeah.
9. Okay, so on a 9, you can choose one, and I'll tell you the options. You can clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong, meaning the person that gave you the lesson, your dad. You can shift one label up and one label down, your choice, or you can cancel the influence and basically rewrite the lesson. So you can either completely forego this lesson and write in a new lesson, or you can clear a condition / mark potential and immediately act to prove your dad wrong about this lesson.
I am going to do that. I'm going to clear my afraid condition.
Okay.
He takes a deep breath. Weston Enterprises.
Sorry, say that again. You cut out.
Weston Enterprise. Okay?
So when you say this, and I'll make it a little more clear for everyone. Hold on a sec. Weston Enterprise.
Oh no.
My dad wasn't just some random engineer. He worked for them. And whatever I was, they did not want my dad finding me. They're still looking for me.
Specifically, what you explain is, whatever you are, your dad wasn't supposed to make you, and when they asked them to, basically dismantle you and start over and do what he was supposed to do, he ran off with you.
I go. His face kind of softens and he smiles and just puts a hand on Joe's shoulder. He goes, "It's okay. We'll protect you."
Why I can't tell anyone though? If anyone here, with any connection to them, which it makes a lot of sense for them to.
I don't even know what Weston Enterprise is. I've heard mention of them, but I don't have any connections to them.
Yeah, but you're not from here, other people, don't want it to accidentally get brought up. I don't want. This is why I can't let Kenzie take a look under the hood.
And I'll really quick give you this music.
School's offering me sanctuary here, but I can't cause any trouble. If they come here looking, I mean, the school can only do so much. I'm technically stolen property.
And they know about that?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Oh boy. Echo sighs and just rubs his eyes, but after he gives a nod.
The brief idea is passing through both of your minds as you're talking about this, because as Joe said, the school knows about this and is letting Joe stay here, which is good. But you don't know who may or may not have connection with those people, and the brief thought crosses your mind of, we don't know who the enemy is.
Exactly.
You have my word, I will not tell a soul.
Thank you. I just want to try to figure out, what technology I'm sourced from without, raising any kind of suspicions.
I could help you with that, I guess. I have experience with it. If you trust me.
I do trust you.
Okay, don't have to worry about that today. We can worry about that another time. He gives him a smile.
Joe smiles back. Then, goes to hug him again.
Ah. Echo kind of there's a moment where because when you you hug someone and they kind of take a second and they don't return it back. There's a second of that. As Echo internally is God, he's never had a relationship like this, friends. He's kind of always been on his own, and he kind of just smiles because he's had a shit week. And this is kind of just making his day a little bit better. And he kind of there was that split moment where he didn't return it, and then he kind of returns it in full force, almost he's it's a really tight hug. And he just nods. He'll be I'll protect you, don't worry, Joe.
I'll protect you too. I couldn't keep you in the dark about it anymore.
Thank you for trusting. But Scavenger's honor, I'll figure this out. We'll figure it out together.
Sure. Honestly, Kenzie keeps mentioning the whole looking at me to try to find out how I work or whatever. Sorry if it's too weird to ask. I don't want that to actually happen with Kenzie or anything, but I think I would like it if you did that.
he takes a step back and he kind of laughs and he nods. It's fine, Joe. I
just want to find out. I mean, I turned into a boat. Stuff just happens, and it'd be kind of cool to know how those reflexes work.
Absolutely, we'll get it figured. But we've got a lot go on today. Let's not drive our mind too crazy, eh?
Yeah, you're right. Totally
Sure.
right.
Do you have any questions for me, I guess?
Well, I mean, I do have one.
Shoot.
I haven't actually gotten to talk to the whole student council thing about it or anything. But there's a dance coming up.
Dance.
The dance. It's did anyone explain it to you?
Well, clearly I know what a dance is, but for just in case, you should tell me. And he kind of looks to the side
So Nelson came into the classroom and said that there's this thing going on, and the thing is called homecoming. And homecoming, I guess, is this thing where people ask other people to go with them to a party. It's like a dance, but not dangerous like the rave was. And so, yeah, me and Aiden were saying how we were gonna try to have the confidence to ask someone to go with us. And I still have to have the student council meeting. Like I said, I have no idea what the theme's going to be or anything. Joe kind of starts talking fast for a while, and then is but I did want to ask if maybe you would want to go with me.
Echo kind of there's a moment where he freezes, he freezes, his eyes go kind of wide, and he kind of in his head, his head is internally processing it, and his cheeks go a bit red, and he's sure, yeah, sure.
Great. Yeah, and I'll have the meeting so I can tell you what the theme is. I guess they choose themes for it.
Sure, yeah, no, just keep me updated, and yeah, no, I'd definitely love to go with you.
Yeah, and then we can dance and not get into a battle afterwards.
Yeah, oh, that was kind of fun. Yeah, let's
Hopefully
do
you
this.
Won't anyways.
Never say never. Speaking of that rave, Terry had something to do with that.
What do you mean?
He admitted that he was the one who spiked the punch.
Oh. Sorry.
Apparently someone from his past made him do it so they could get those goods, and he kind of shrugs.
Seems like we all have stuff from our past that we're hiding.
Not me. He chuckles.
Yeah.
He's a guy from the middle of nowhere.
That's why you're the coolest.
No, yeah, I'm not that cool. I'm just I don't. I'm pretty sure the school thinks I'm dumb, but actually, hey, can I see your pad for a second?
Yeah, here. Actually, no, I wouldn't have said that because I do not have one because I am my own.
Can you go and just just check, see what people are saying about the fight, and if anything's been posted? I saw Lily taking a video, so.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I look for that?
Yeah, check the bottom of the Star Heights Academy groups and organizations handout, and the last bullet point is one that Dako wrote out for the rumor that's going around about the fight. This is in all of the little like messages and like the sort of social media within the school.
Dang. Oh man.
You also see people spreading around GIFs of Eugene slipping on the ice and falling over. Specifically, one that says classic Eugene moment, another one that says that feel when you walk behind Aiden in winter. And then there's an image of Heist's foot on Echo's head on the ground, the foot having the caption Nightwalker's classwork, with Echo's face having the caption My social life.
That's just I like stop looking at it. Not the best, bud, but it'll blow over.
What do you mean not the best?
Well, there's a good amount of memes, jokes.
What are they saying though about the fight? Like, did they say I won or he won or tie?
Definitely say that Heist won the fight.
Griff, and he just kind of sighs, and he kind of just puts his hands on his face and flops on the bed.
Listen, we're gonna figure this out. Like I said, if we can't fight them physically, then we can do it in a smarter way. We can be smarter. I'm the president.
I know.
We'll throw a party and we'll invite everybody in the cafeteria, and the only one who can't come is gonna be Heist.
I'm a loser now, Joe.
You're not a loser.
He's burying his face in his blankets. The school thinks I am.
It's a very good sound effect that you got going. Oh, no one thinks you're a loser. They just think, that you lost a fight. Which, hey, everybody loses a fight now and again.
I lost my place on the leaderboard.
So you'll get it back up. We're still just first years.
He raises his head from the blankets as he looks so defeated and done.
Hey, we totally got this.
I hope so. Thank you for coming over.
Yeah, of course, Echo.
he deflates as he sighs and.
I'm trying to think of a movie reference. What's a good driving movie? Besides Fast and Furious.
Mad Max.
Because that's my... Oh, man. No, it's not gonna work for my reference. It's totally fine. I'll skip that. We're gonna figure this out. Bottom line.
I know. It'll take time. I'm just a bit of whiplash, you know? I was doing so good and then I hit a wall.
Well, we're gonna scale the wall, and then we're gonna climb over it, and we're gonna keep running. We're gonna keep going, and you're gonna get higher up on the leaderboard, and you're gonna get past Gabe. I am gonna do everything that I can to make it so people know who I am at this school. I'm gonna be remembered. That's what my new goal is.
He sort of thinks, mulls over that. He kind of gives a nod. You want to be remembered?
Yeah. Everyone keeps calling me like a hero recently. I know that sounds weird, but just this friendship club, it's meaning a lot to a lot of different people. I realized how much that means to me, to be the guy who started the club that brought two sides of the school together. And I want people to remember that guy as someone who was really cool, and someone who was friends with everybody, and who got everybody to get along. And if people like Eugene or Heist or whatever are gonna pick fights, then they aren't gonna be a part of that. And looking back, they're only gonna feel dumb for it.
Right. He's not that bad of a guy. All things considered, he's just...
It's rude to Aiden. Bumped into him in the hallway on the way here.
Oh.
Aiden, I mean, that's out of character here, but Aiden, that's baby. So, if you pick on Aiden, it's like picking on a puppy. I don't trust you anymore.
Are you and Aiden like a thing, or?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm Aiden's best friend. I want them to know that I'm their best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm kind of still figuring out this whole tick feeling thing. No, I don't know. I feel that way for you.
No, he kind of blushes. He looks to the side. Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. It's been a while since I've had like people around me who aren't scavengers and like actual friends. I spent a lot of my life alone besides Spark, and he gently flicks his earring.
Yeah, Spark kind of bounces out onto your shoulder.
He smiles and rubs under his chin. I've been alone, and I don't know how to like interact with things in this world, and it's honestly kind of scary if I can even keep friends with things like Lily and how mad she got me, or how mad she got over me just trying to help her, because she's messing with things that could harm her really bad, whether she realizes it or not, and I just wanted to help. She didn't want it.
Lily's going through her own battles. It's like how I had to wait to tell you about this. We can't pressure Lily to tell us what they're going through.
I didn't pressure her, I just warned her. Wanted her to know she might be in trouble. I don't know. He kind of shrugs and boops Spark.
Spark goes like tumbling backward in the air a little bit, acting like you just did like a karate kick to him. And then he floats there and jumps back into the earring.
I don't know, Joe. It's just complicated for me sometimes. I feel more of an outsider than I ever have right now.
He kind of like puts his hand out. We're gonna figure it out together.
Is it like a palm open upwards, like a closed fist? What kind of hand?
A palm open upwards.
Like, he kind of looks at the palm and like reaches out and like kind of like does like he like kind of he like whacks it, like palm downwards, like slaps it, like it's
like a low 5.
Yeah. Looks kind of confused, like.
Go here.
What do I do?
Like I go to hold Echo's hand.
Oh, he lets him take it. Oh, sorry.
You just hold it.
Your dad taught you this.
Yeah. My dad showed me that.
Oh, and he kind of looks confused.
Just what you do whenever you, trust someone. It's just for reassurance. It's also so you know you can follow somebody.
Echo looks down and kind of smiles at it. And kind of that blush is ever present in his cheeks. He's like, he looks back. He's like, "Thanks, Joe."
All right, I've got to start charging the old battery. I've been awake for way too long.
For sure. Did you get everything set up with your club? And he kind of takes his hand back.
Actually, I got a lot of people to help me set it up. Kathleen, I met new people too. It was really good. You should come.
I wanted to, if I can help, I'd like to.
Honestly, I don't want you to worry about that right now. You've got enough on your plate. Everything's already ready. Just come and meet Vizula, hang out with Kathleen. Really cool.
Azula?
Yeah, Vizula. They're from another planet. They're really nice.
Oh, I can't wait to meet him.
It's gonna be great. Joe, stands up. Slowly, letting go of Echo's hand.
Echo kind of lets go and kind of looks at his hand for a second. It'll be okay. And he smiles at Joe.
I know that. You have to tell yourself that more. 'Cause it totally will.
Yeah. Echo kind of chuckles and stands up. He looks at the drawing again and just kind of closes the book.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about it soon. Alright. And Joe goes to leave. As the doors open for a second, he gives one last smile to Echo before heading out.
Wait, Joe, Echo kind of skids out. And he just goes to hug him again.
Gives him a big hug. He returns it and kind of just stands there for a second.
He hugs him tight and then he kind of takes a step back as that blush is full force. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
You guys, Echo, you rush out to give you rush out to give Joe a hug and you're saying goodbye. And over Joe's shoulder, you just see Eugene walking down the hall. And he kind of sees you out of the corner of his eye, and just kind of looks forward again and seems like he's going to try to ignore you.
Echo just kind of pats Joe's back and he kind of gives Eugene a gentle smile as he takes a step back. His face is redder than a tomato. He kind of coughs and it's just all right, yeah,
Joe, you see Echo make eye contact with someone behind you.
I look.
Yeah, and you just see that he's walking by.
He's not really looking at us.
No, it seems like he is avoiding looking at you guys.
Hold on 1 second. Don't let the moment pass yet.
Okay.
I'm looking at my... Okay. I know what I want to do.
Okay.
Look at Echo's face and I see that his demeanor's changed and everything. And I don't know if you'll make me do a condition for this. If you do, I actually don't care. The moment that Eugene turns to open their room thing or whatever.
Oh no, he's not going into this room. It looks like he's gonna keep walking by you guys.
Okay, great. Either way, as soon as they walk past, they're not looking at us. They're actively ignoring us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep eye contact with Echo, and I just do a little arm stretch behind Eugene, and I just do an air horn behind his head.
Yeah, he's like walking by you guys, and you stretch
Just to
your
like
arm.
make him go, huh?
Yeah, mark a condition for me to make a lot. Or actually, you know what? I'm not gonna make you do that because you had a sound power earlier. So I'm gonna give you this one for free.
Heck yeah, sound powers.
Comedic things work.
So yeah, you make the air horn, and he like jumps in place, and like his arms go flailing around, and he catches himself on his feet. And how do you both react to this?
Echo's like, he's like,
And we're both probably snickering, but I bring in my arm quick enough so whenever he does turn around, it's already like coming back into me, and I'm just like.
He just looks over at you guys with a grimace, and stands up straight and dusts his shirt a bit and just says, "Real mature." And the door behind him opens up.
uh-oh.
Good.
Hey, what was that? And he goes to turn around and just leave.
I think Eugene just passed gas.
That didn't sound like gas.
Oh yeah, he just totally farted. That was what that was.
He smiles and turns around and looks at you, and he says, "You don't really know how the whole passive-aggressive thing works, do you?"
I'm not trying to be passive-aggressive. Are you trying to be passive-aggressive?
Is this because of what happened earlier in the hallway? Were you really that riled up by it?
Oh, trust me. I'm not even close to riled up.
Really? You seemed pretty angry earlier, and you seem pretty angry right now, but maybe I'm just imagining things. I just want to make sure that I didn't rub you the wrong way.
Just having a fun time in the hallway. With my friends.
Of
Where are your
course.
friends? You don't really seem to have any.
That's a bold claim to someone who's going to their room. But of course, I guess assumptions are everything that you're all about. Although, it'd be weird if... Well, I guess it'd be a shame if word got around about your assumptions, given the type of club you're trying to put together. But no, please, keep making assumptions about other people, and keep making bold claims about other people that you don't know. I'm sure that won't come back to bite you.
You can try your best to bring me and my friends down, but it's not gonna work.
Oh, please, I don't need to bring you guys down. And I don't care about bringing you guys down. All that matters is that everyone knows I'm at the top. That's all that matters.
Alright, you two. Echo kind of like puts his hands out and kind of raises them both towards him and says, alright, let's break it up.
Echo also looks between you guys, and when or Aiden looks between you guys, and when Echo does this, Aiden, like, mimics him a little bit. And Heist puts up his hand and kind of swats yours away, Echo. And he just looks at you and says, "So, what did Headmistress Foresight have to say to you?"
Nothing good. I assume it was the same for you.
Probably. It's going to be a waste of time. But I suppose it doesn't matter.
Did you lose your position on the board too?
This is my first infraction, so I guess that's a punishment they're only given to you.
I guess you got what you wanted then.
I guess I did. Well, anyways, I'll be seeing you all around, and, sorry, not sorry, Echo. And he gives you a sly little smirk as he turns around.
Echo gives a shrug. Take care.
And he waves passively as he turns around and walks off.
Joey, like, says something as he walks off that she says loud enough for him to hear. But not to him, you know what I mean? And she just goes, the only reason he knocked you down the board is because he knew he couldn't get ahead of you, like, the fair way. Like, the only reason he fought you is because he knew that he couldn't actually climb the board himself.
You say that, and as you're, like, looking over Echo's shoulder, kind of watching him go away, you just see him clench a fist, but he keeps walking.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
You know, I think Kim and Lily would make a really cute couple. They
You think Lily's that mean? Everyone's seen this meaner side of Lily. I don't know.
Whatever. He kind of shrugs. He looks at. And sorry for waking you up.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, Aiden.
I wasn't asleep. I was just kind of sitting around waiting for time to pass.
Speaking of that, I feel like I like the idea of Joey having like a wristwatch that's like, you're at 18%.
Your wrist
like...
your wrist opens up a little panel and it like comes out with a mini screen that gives you info.
It's like low battery.
Which is also something you don't need because it'd be in your HUD, but you can make it happen anyways.
I like that idea, honestly. I do. I gotta charge up, actually.
Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer. Thanks for the talk.
Yeah.
Echo's face kind of blushes again.
Of course. Anytime.
Aiden.
See you at the friendship gathering tomorrow.
Yeah.
Aiden looks between you guys and smiles, and you two just talk to each other and say goodbye to one another.
Echo looks at Aiden. He goes, "Good night, Aiden. You as well." And Echo like offers a fist bump to Aiden.
Aiden sloshes his arm over your arm and kind of encapsulates your forearm, and then brings his arm back and says, "I'd give you the secret handshake, but it's just like a me and Joey thing, so I can't."
Yeah, actually, I would totally do that.
you hear this and you turn back around and you're like, yeah, by the way.
Yeah, I like get halfway down the hall and I'm like, oh yeah, shit.
And then Echo, you see these two do like a little secret handshake. And it's like, well, Chloe, you can describe it.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm using my hand, Aiden using like a little thing of water. I slap the front of my hand, then slap the back of my hand, and then he makes a little tidal wave, and I make a little guy on a surfboard with my hands to make it look like there's dudes surfing.
I love that.
That's it.
Echo kind of like gives like a round of applause. He's like,
Yeah.
amazing.
Thanks. Joey came up with the idea. Joe, sorry, I'm still getting used to that.
You're fine. I'm still getting used to it too. Finger guns. Walk away.
And you walk down the hall and end up, disappearing down the stairs. And Aiden turns to you, Echo, and just says, "Good night. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep, feel free to come hang out. I'm just waiting for the time to pass."
Do you not sleep?
Not really.
Oh.
Sometimes I just kind of sit there and time feels like it passes by a bit quicker. I guess I just kind of zone out. I mean, I guess I kind of sleep. It's weird. I guess it's sleep, but I'm still like conscious for it.
Like a trance.
Yeah, maybe something like that. I've been calling it sleep, I think, but that's probably more accurate. Anyway, yeah, it gets lonely at night, so if you're ever not able to sleep, feel free to come hang out.
For sure. Who's beside you?
Oh, that's Gabe's room.
Oh, great. Great. Would Echo know who's beside him?
You're able to, you point there and you're like, who's in that room? And he's like, oh, that's Evan's room. And you can tell that because Aiden hasn't really ever had anywhere to go or anything to do. He just kind of has seen people around the dorm, so he knows where people live.
Just watches people leave and come home.
Well, he's just around. Everybody else has things going on, so he's just like, oh, I see people come and go. I guess I kind of know like where some of the people in this hall live anyways.
Okay, well, thank you. God, why is that Bosch tit over there? Echo kind of sighs.
And Aiden just goes back into his room waving to you.
He waves back and sighs as he goes to open his door. Locked out. He just gives a...
The portal's in again.
Oh, god damn it!
You go to open the door and you realize you accidentally locked yourself out. You're like, jeez. And, a door opens down the hall. And Gabe is just, like, looking out at you, confused.
He kind of laughs and just, like, sighs as he gently bangs his head on the door, and he looks to Gabe. Locked out.
How did you get locked out?
My pad, and he pulls it out and shows him.
Oh, yeah, the fight.
yeah, would... In his head, he's like, I'm gonna regret asking this. What did you think of it?
Oh. I guess it was disappointing. Both of you did kind of terrible.
Really? We both did bad?
Kinda. Although I guess I'm more disappointed in you than him.
Why?
I thought you'd do better.
Off day for me.
And he just turns around and goes to go back to his room.
You have a good night.
He kind of looks back to you as he's heading to his door and opening it up, and he just like gives a bit of a shrug with a single shoulder and just heads in.
Cool.
You just think to yourself like, he was disappointed in me? What? I don't know how to feel about that.
It's your dad now. Boogie woogie woogie.
God, I hope not. I got courage for that.
Yeah, the cross does the thought does cross your mind that he had he had talked as if he was like expecting a lot from you since you were so high in the ranks, and now it seemed like he was curious since there was a loud noise and now you're not able to get into your room, but otherwise it seems like he was kind of passively disinterested in you compared to before.
Echo sighs and just kind of like spins around on the door and just slowly slides down as he rests his back of his head to his door and sighs as he looks at the roof.
Is there anything else you want to do in this scene, or are you just gonna chill out at your door before eventually portaling in?
Like, I'm just gonna chill out at his door and just like sigh as he just puts his hands in his face in his hands.
Okay. We'll move to this map. And Chloe hasn't gotten to see this yet, but I made a nighttime version of this little map because I thought it would be nice to have it. But yeah, with that, the day winds to a close. Joe, you head back to your room on the opposite side of the dorms. Echo, you eventually open up a portal and get back into your room, and okay, I'm gonna have to get a replacement student pad, like, ASAP to make things easier. And you're like, oh god, good thing I have portals, or else this would be a lot more difficult for me. But yeah, the day winds to a close, and Joe, you know that tomorrow is the first day you're going to be able to host your club, and, really talk with people about it. And Echo, the thought crosses your mind after you go back to your dorm, oh, I have detention for the next 3 weeks. Am I even going to be able to go to the club? That's going to be difficult. So there's a lot going on in both of your heads. But, of course, we take every day as it comes. So we'll take tomorrow as it comes to us as well. And that's going to do it for us. So, Chloe, since everyone else did end of session moves last time, we're going to do an end of session move for you this time to catch you up with everyone.
Alright.
In this session, did Joe grow closer to the team, grow into his image of himself, or grow away from the team in some way?
I say grew closer into his image of himself.
Okay, yeah, explain this to me. Why do you think this?
I think that Joe has recognized that it's okay, like, they want to be the freak that they are, is kind of the way I would put it.
Mm-hmm.
They are realizing that there's so much stuff that they don't know about themselves, but that a lot of people who are here at the school don't know shit about themselves either. Nobody does, and that's the human experience he's starting to recognize. He had this idea before that everyone already knew their place and what they were doing and who they were, and in reality, everybody's just as confused as he is. That's given him a sort of confidence,
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, this is the ability to shift your labels. I'm going to interpret this a little differently because your freak stat is already maxed out.
Yeah, no, it would make sense for, like, superior or something to go up.
Would you say that you feel more normal in the sense of, like, hey, I'm kind of starting to get how complicated it is just to be a person, and that's okay?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So maybe shift mundane up and freak down.
Got it.
All right. And yeah, with that, we are done. So next time, I have a session after this one, which we talked about briefly at the end of the last session that I did with everybody, that Terry has a little job that he's going to be going on with a few people that he's chosen. So that's going to be the next thing we take care of. And then after that, we're going to go from there. So it'll be interesting to see how you guys react to some of the things that are going to start happening. But
I'm
that's
very
all.
excited.
That's all for next time. Woohoo!